or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
When I was in Iraq, our convoy was hit. It was bad. After I came home, I could still hear booms and see tracer fire. Makes it hard to be a good mom.
As America's veterans face challenges, DAV is there.
I'm Naomi Mathis, Air Force veteran.
With the right support, more veterans can reach victories, great and small.
With help from DAV, I was able to begin to heal.
DAV provides a lifetime of support to veterans of every generation, helping more than 1 million veterans each year.
Today, I'm part of DAV. We're veterans helping veterans to get the benefits they've earned. And I give my veterans my all.
But there's more to be done and more victories to be won.
My victory is being able to be here for my children.
Naomi Mathis, thank you for your service. May your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time to get up and get your day started.
Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
It's Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports 56 Mornings is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Now, here are your hosts, Greg and Eli.
They get up every morning from the alarm clocks, wanting to take the 8:15 into the city.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Already Wednesday, Hump Day. The Wednesday, April 24th, 2024 edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, and Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, big shout out to the terrific sponsor of this station and this studio and everything they have done for us over the years. We can't thank them enough. And you should do yourself a little treat and head on over there when you have some time to see what they have to offer, because right now their spring sale continues. They have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and patio furniture, and so much more. Check them out at 2120 Witten Road, just north of I-40, Family Leisure. And the first hour of the program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Currently 62, on the way up to 78 degrees today. We'll have a mixture of clouds and sunshine, but should be a pretty nice day. This evening, partly cloudy skies with a low of 56. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. And then for Thursday, looks like some rain in the forecast, about a 60% chance with a high of 73 degrees tomorrow. Coming up on the program today, we'll talk plenty of NBA playoffs, 3 more games last night, and a couple of road wins, which hadn't happened up until this point in the playoffs. We will discuss that. Also, the NBA has started to give out their postseason awards, but the awards are given out for the regular season. They are starting to be handed out. We will talk about that. Also, some news from the University of Memphis as they look to replace Laird Veach as their athletics director after Laird took a job at the University of Missouri. Tim Buckley joins us at 8:05 to talk more about the situation with the athletic director's position at the University of Memphis. Tim is the deputy sports editor and senior writer for the Daily Memphian. Again, he'll join us at 8:05. At 8:30, we'll talk Major League Baseball, St. Louis Cardinals specifically, with our friend Mike Claiborne from the Cardinals Radio Network. What is going on with the Cardinals? And at 9:05, as we do each and every week, we'll talk Grizzlies, talk NBA playoffs with DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal. We'll take your calls, your texts on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener lines at 901-360-8255. And, of course, more portal news. There seems to be news every day of significance. We will discuss some of that today on the program. That's your lineup for today. Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a good Tuesday. Let's have an even better Wednesday. How are you?
I am splendiferous.
Yeah, that's not a word.
It is. I believe it is.
Is it a word?
Yes. It describes me today.
I did not sleep well last night. And I sleep well, I would say, 90% of the time. Couldn't sleep. Could not sleep. So I am working on 3.5 hours of sleep right now. And I'm having trouble with my eyes. You ever get like kaleidoscope? I'm seeing all kinds of weird things, man. Not that I've like drugged out or anything like that. It's just like it's not crisp right now in my eyesight.
I see dead people.
Zach, how are you, man? Are you as tired as I am?
No, I'm cooling for now.
You feeling good?
Yeah.
It's a good night last night. 3 NBA playoff games. It's always a good night when we have NBA postseason. Of course, if you're into Stanley Cup playoffs, hockey, there was action there as well. Some Major League Baseball action as well. There was also a college baseball game of significance last night as Memphis fell to Mississippi State 6-4. Had the pleasure of calling that game with Jeff Brightwell, and it was the third largest attended game in the history of FedEx Park Avron Fogelman Field. Now, it's not a huge stadium, and I think in years to come that they will be adding more stands and more capacity to that stadium, but there were a lot of Bully fans there. It was a well-played game. Anytime I can call, and I'm sure you feel the same way, Eli, a well-played game by both teams, you feel good about the broadcast. The broadcast ended up going over 3 hours, but I didn't really realize that until looked at my watch and go, wow, this is 3:10 or whatever it was. But when it's played well, you don't notice it as much as when it's a baseball game and they're walking a million people and they're throwing around the ball and there's errors galore. Last night, both teams played well. Mississippi State just got the better of Memphis, winning 6-4 to put up a season series sweep over the Tigers.
Anytime you get a midweek game that's well played, it's always a nice thing.
Yes,
because you can get some doozies in the midweek.
And you've called some, and I've called some, and the wind was blowing out at about 16, 17 miles per hour. I thought we would see fireworks galore. We had a couple of shots that went off the wall. We did have the one home run in the game, but it was not what I thought. The first time they met down in Starkville, Tigers had an 8-3 lead in that game and proceeded to lose 17-9. That was a lot different than what we saw last night.
Yeah, the wind. I know the wind was a little rough yesterday.
It was howling.
I played a lot of golf yesterday in that wind, and it was not fun.
Golfer's worst enemy.
It is. It was
that and crocodiles or alligators. If you're playing in Australia, crocodiles, but here in the States, alligators.
Well, my worst enemy could often be just me on the golf course.
I know,
but the wind was a real problem yesterday.
I don't know. You're a good golfer. You can handle that. I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to golf. In fact, it is so bad right now that I have to go out and learn from the pros, which I will go and take a few lessons because it is not going well right now. And I'm excited about golf this summer. I'm excited to play well, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do something about that. All right, last night, NBA playoff action. The Timberwolves grab a 2-0 series lead over the Phoenix Suns. They win 105-93. This wasn't Anthony Edwards going off. This was Jaden McDaniels. 25 points, 8 rebounds. We know what he does defensively. And when you think about that Minnesota team, you rattle off the names: Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns, Mike Conley, maybe Naz Reid before you even get to McDaniels. And he is a terrific player. All 5 starters in double-figure scoring, and they did what they were supposed to do. They won 2 at home.
Yeah, Phoenix, really at halftime, if you were Phoenix, you had to be feeling pretty bad. When you can get a first half against Minnesota in which Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns combined for 7 points, you need to have more than a 1-point lead.
I would say so.
That's not a good thing because you're like, okay, we've done this. Towns in foul trouble, didn't play much, only took 2 shots in the first half. Edwards is 1 for 5, and we lead by 1. That's probably not good. And then Edwards got it going a little bit in the second half, hit some big shots. But yeah, McDaniels obviously, in the first half it was McDaniels, Gobert, Conley carried him. and then those other guys kind of chipped in the second half. But McDaniels was absolutely terrific. And, the Suns stars did not shoot the ball real well themselves. And, certainly they could still come back and win the series. All they did was lose 2 games on the road. But it does not look good right now. Grayson Allen goes out with the injury. We'll see what his status is for the next game, but he's now injured that ankle twice. And, looked pretty bad last night when we really couldn't put any weight on it at all. They do get 2 off days before their next game on Friday, so maybe that helps. But the Suns appear to be in a bit of trouble.
The Suns have scored less than 100 points in both games. And when Minnesota is able to play that type of defense with the firepower that they have on offense, you're in trouble. And the Suns with that star-studded trio of Durant, Beal, and Booker. As you said, they're only down 2-0, losing 2 on the road. But it doesn't look promising. And there will be the debate if they go down in the series about that star-studded trio. They brought another stud in with Beal, who was hurt early in the season, and I know it took a while for them to find their chemistry. But they were playing pretty well going into the postseason. This would be hugely disappointing. I'm not saying that it's shocking if Minnesota wins, not by any stretch of the imagination. Minnesota, I think, was the better team in the regular season. But where do you go from here if you're Matt Ishbia? You're willing to spend a lot of money. You have 3 superstars on your team. I don't know what else you can do. You went out, you made that trade, what was it, before the season? When they made the trade with Portland to pick up Nurkic?
Mm-hmm.
You got rid of Ayton. People were putting the blame on Ayton. I don't know. I don't know where Phoenix goes from there.
Well, Minnesota is, they're the number 1 defensive team in the league, which is why I believe Rudy Gobert probably will win Defensive Player of the Year. They're an elite defensive team, and again, some of it just comes down to making shots. When you're Kevin Durant or even Devin Booker somewhat, but a guy like Durant, even with good defense, he has the ability to make shots because he can shoot over the top of anybody in the league. And they just right now aren't making a ton of shots. What they end up last night from 3, 8 of 22 from 3-point range, shoot 44% overall. 2 teams they were identical from the field overall last night. Big difference at the free throw line where the Timberwolves were 26 out of 30. That was the big difference in the game. But for the Suns, those Booker 1 for 6 from 3, Durant 0 for 2 from 3. They combined to go. Beal goes 6 of 17 from the field. They were 18 of 45 combined from the 3 of them. Now you get a little bit of a turn back the clock night from Eric Gordon, who hit some shots, but those three guys have to really be, to beat a team like Minnesota, those 3 guys are going to have to be great.
I saw a story yesterday and they do this annually. They take a poll of NBA players anonymously, and they ask them a bunch of questions. And the answer to this question was Rudy Gobert, the most overrated player in the NBA. And while the trade at first between Utah and Minnesota was laughable, Rudy Gobert, if Minnesota can get to the finals, has been a difference maker. Yeah, maybe he wasn't worth everything they gave up. Maybe he's not totally worth the money he's paid because he's not some big-time offensive player. But the most overrated player in the league? And this is his fellow players saying that.
God, that says it all. It's the players that say it. I believe it, but my opinion doesn't matter. The other players believe it.
But if he's the defensive player of the year, and again, we don't know yet. I'm not sure what night they give that out. But I don't know how you can be the most overrated player in the league if you end up becoming the defensive player of the year. Anyway, Minnesota 2-0. They move now to Phoenix for Game 3. We have some road winners. The Pacers going to Milwaukee. And again, no Giannis. 125-108 Indiana wins going away. They even the series up at 1, so they steal home court advantage from Milwaukee, and now they head to Indianapolis to be exact. Pascal Siakam, who I love, 37 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Miles Turner, 22 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. They have not had a big game in a while from Tyrese Halliburton, and they really didn't need it. Damian Lillard, again, like game 1, had a huge first half, not so much second half. At least he scored in the second half this time around. He ends up with 34. But the Bucks could be in trouble. And we go back to the whole move for Doc Rivers, not putting all the blame on Doc, but it just hasn't clicked. Indiana's got them where they want them right now by splitting the 2 on the road to open the series.
This looked like the Indiana offense that was one of the best offenses for the entire regular season. Game 1, they shot under 40% for the first time all year, and then they come back and shoot over 55% in game 2. Both teams shot great from three-point range in this game, but I mean, Indiana just overall, everybody's making shots. I mean, Siakam, and no surprise, he's the guy on that team that has the playoff experience, having been through it and winning a championship with Toronto, but he's had 36 and 37 in the 2 games. Miles Turner was fantastic. Nembhard was fantastic. I mean, but it was just an ultra-efficient offense, which is what Indiana does. That is their thing. They are an ultra-efficient offense, which in game 1, they were not at all. And a lot of that starts with Halliburton. He gets the assist numbers in this because guys actually made shots off of his passes. In game 1, they didn't. They shot like 30-something percent, right around 30%, I think, off of passes from him. So, without Giannis, I just don't believe that there's enough firepower to keep up with Indiana when Indiana is making shots. And more times than not, they do make shots.
And remember, Indiana is without Benedict Mathurin, who had right shoulder surgery and was dominant against Milwaukee in their meetings this year. So that is a big weapon that they don't have. But I think Nembhard has really stepped up. He had 20 points in this game. Neesmith has done a nice job. They've gotten some support from the bench. Toppin's done okay. McConnell is a proven veteran. Yeah, I mean, Indiana right now, I don't want to say driver's seat. Series is even at 1. But as long as they take care of business at home, they're going to win this series. And then the late game, and this is one I'm so mad that I didn't just play the Mavs straight up money line to win. I thought the Mavs would even this series. I don't think the Mavs are a great team by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're an improved team because of the bigs they were able to pick up in deals before the trade deadline, and Gafford and P.J. Washington. I thought they're more well-rounded. I still think the Clippers will probably win the series, although I wouldn't be surprised either way. But I thought the Mavs would bounce back after playing like crap in game 1, especially defensively. And they end up getting the win 96-93, late game last night, in case you missed it. Luka, 32 and 9 assists. Kyrie, 23 points and 6 rebounds. Kawhi did return for the Clippers. 15.7 rebounds. He was 0 of 5 from 3. Paul George and James Harden, 22 points each. Zubac had another double-double. But this game, I don't know why it was that much different, because you look at the stats for the Clippers, and they look pretty much like they did in game 1. But defensively, the Mavs strengthened up. They got whatever it was that they did not have in the first game, they were much better in the second game.
Well, you can look at the Clippers and, 36% field goal. 36%. Going to be tough to win.
I didn't watch that game at all. Was that more, again, what Dallas did to tighten the defense, or is it just the Clippers missing open shots? Did you watch it at all?
I'd watched very little of it.
Did you watch it, Zach? The Clippers game?
No, I didn't.
But again, some of it always. I think Dallas certainly is better defensively, but a lot of it in the NBA just comes down to simply, making shots. These guys all certainly have that ability. Kawhi, certainly, there's going to be some rust there
Right.
with him coming back.
Right.
And he goes 0 for 5 from three-point range. So that's not a shock to think that he might be a little bit rusty. Because they go game 1, they went 18 of 36 from three-point range. Game 2, they go 8 of 30. So you go from 50% down to 26% just from three-point range alone. 46% from the field in game 1, 36% in game 2. And, Harden, who was really good in game 1, looked like the James Harden we often see in the playoffs. He goes 2 for 10. The bench, Westbrook 2 for 9 from the field, Norman Powell 2 for 10 from the field. So you got those two guys. Plumlee goes 0 for 3. I mean, the bench was horrendous from the field. So it's with Luka doing his thing and when Kyrie does his thing, then P.J. Washington.
Yes, I was just going to bring up P.J. Washington.
Him going 3 for 4 from three-point range and scoring 18 points is not something the Mavericks are necessarily counting on.
That's why I said those pickups of Washington and Gafford were huge. Now, Gafford, I don't know if he ended up getting hurt in that game. He only played 9 minutes. I know he was ineffective in game 1. And then Tim Hardaway Jr. did get hurt. He only played 6 minutes. So you overcome. Hardaway is so important to this team off the bench. He plays 6 minutes, as I said. Gafford, 9 minutes, and you still win. I think P.J. Washington stepping up. That's why I like Dallas a lot more than I did last year because of the acquisitions of the bigs. Now, do I think they're the best team in the West? Not even close, and they probably won't win this series when it's all said and done. But like I said, I would not be surprised. I just don't think they have lasting ability in the playoffs. I don't think they're as good as some of these teams ahead of them. And we already talked about Minnesota and Denver, obviously, at the top. And the Clippers, of course, finished, third in the West? So, again, it would be an upset if Dallas did win this series, but it's still a possibility. All right, tonight in the NBA playoffs, there are just 2 games on tap. We have the Celtics back in action against Miami after throttling them in game 1, 1-0 Boston series lead. And New Orleans and Oklahoma City, game 2 in OKC. That was a great first game between those two as New Orleans fell 94-92. So we'll see how that one turns out. I think there's a good chance New Orleans could even the series up against Oklahoma City. I have a feeling that one could go 7.
We'll see. I don't know. I don't have much faith in that, but Oklahoma City certainly, again, they're so young, and to be put in this situation, it puts pressure on you as the number 1 seed with a team that has pretty much no playoff experience whatsoever. So we'll see how now having a game under their belts, how do they respond tonight? We shall see.
We were talking yesterday a lot about the complaints by the Lakers in their game, by the Sixers in their game against the Knicks. Well, the last 2-minute report came out for the Knicks-Sixers game. It came out for all the games, but for the Knicks-Sixers game in particular, and that was that Knicks miraculous 104-101 win where they just stole it from Philadelphia in the final 30, 40 seconds. Well, the last 2-minute report revealed that Tyrese Maxey was fouled multiple times during a frenetic defining sequence, and that 76ers coach Nick Nurse called for a timeout, but the referees didn't see it. Specifically, the league said Jalen Brunson grabbed Maxey's jersey before the ball was inbounded after Brunson's three-pointer cut Philly's lead to 2, and that Josh Hart then bumped Maxey as he caught the inbounds pass, sending him falling to the ground. Maxey then committed a turnover trying to pass the ball after he fell to the ground. So does that change your opinion about their complaints?
No, because that wasn't what they were complaining about. He's complaining about the timeout situation. And, yeah, he called the timeout. Again, you can't count on a referee to see every timeout you try and call. And when he really tried to call the timeout the second time, Maxey was already on the ground, and the referee, it's hard to say whether he has possession or not.
We have had now...
And I still maintain that the smart play there was to just call the timeout before inbounding the basketball and advancing it to half court. That solves all those problems.
No, I agreed with that when you said that yesterday. But we have had now, in the NBA, We've had situations in college over the years, whether a coach called timeout or not. Infamous John Calipari, national championship game versus Kansas, timeout, no timeout. Is there a better way? If the officials are not recognizing coaches all the time with the timeouts, is there a way to do it where, let's say they buzzed to the official scorekeeper and the scorekeeper immediately stops the game? I mean, is there a way to take it out of the hands of the officials at that moment if they're missing coaches' signals for a timeout?
No, I mean, the referee, their whistle stops the game. So, no. I mean, again, the easy way here was to have Kyle Lowry call the timeout.
I understand, but again, this is not the first incident. It's happened, I don't know, I don't have a number, but it's happened before. Just trying to think if there's a better way.
It happens about 0.00001% of the time.
Yeah, but when it happens, it's critical. And that was critical. But again, still, the last 2-minute report indicated fouls that were not called, which continues to, I think there's a lot of belly aching. Like I said, I compared it now to soccer. You know, they cry as much as soccer players, basketball players do, every single play when they probably fouled 9 out of 10 times, and yet they feel they fouled 0 out of 10 times. But when these reports come out, they always seem to indicate that officials have blown calls or have missed calls.
Well, yeah, because it's impossible not to.
Well, again, I can't, it's hard to accept it's going to happen, especially when it happens in critical times that could cost you a game and could cost you a series.
I mean, it's impossible to not miss calls at an NBA basketball game. Or any basketball game, let alone the NBA. I mean, with the freak athletes you're dealing with. It's impossible to get every call right.
Yeah, I don't know what you can do with basketball. I know that in baseball, and I don't want to go down another avenue here, but as much as I've heard about Angel Hernandez again in the last week and other umpires, Wendell Stat, others missing balls and strikes, the robo home plate umpire makes more sense to me every single day. Because if you have the technology to get it right, I know there's some people that say, don't take out the human factor. Why not? Take out the human factor. If you can get all the balls and strikes called right, correctly, do it. But again, with basketball, I don't know. I know this. Every single time you go to lunch or dinner at Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, you're going to get delicious BBQ. It's not going to be, this wasn't that good. It's always going to be great because they've perfected it over 4 decades, that delicious, slow smoked barbecue. Consistency is what you're going to get at Corky's. They have lunch specials every single day, party packs that start at just $7.49. If you're really hungry, go in there, get an entree, add a third of a rack of ribs for just $6.99. They will cater events large and small. Just ask them about their catering services. You got graduation parties coming up this spring, anniversaries, family reunions, business, corporate outings, whatever the case may be, sporting events, you want to do a little tailgating, think of Corky's. 4 locations, Poplar Avenue in Memphis, Poplar Avenue in Collierville, Germantown Parkway in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Corky's Ribs and Barbecue, open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. When we come back, could Memphis land a prized 5-star prospect? This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Be sure to follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports 56 WHBQ.
Your Memphis Showboats are back in action at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium on Sunday, April 28th at 2 p.m. All game long, we will be celebrating the incredible legacies of Showboats greats Reggie White and Pepper Rogers, and you won't want to miss our tribute at halftime. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Your Memphis Showboats versus the Michigan Panthers, Sunday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Tickets start at just $10. Go Boats!
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte RE 756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details, offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
If you've tried to buy a Rolex watch lately, you know how difficult it is. New models are in rare supply. Some jewelers put you on wait lists. Others make you buy their other jewelry at inflated prices just to be considered for a Rolex purchase. Well, that's all changed now that Genesis Diamonds has arrived. Genesis Diamonds is the premier dealer of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. People who come in are shocked to see Daytonas, Hulks, Submariners, Pepsis, Datejusts, all the hard-to-find Rolex watches ready to wear today. At Genesis, we've used our worldwide connections to find only the first luxury pre-owned Rolexes, immaculate, pristine watches, fairly priced with no strings attached, and with flexible financing options. So enough with the wait list and the retail jeweler games. Get the Rolex of your dreams today at Genesis Diamonds. And if you already have a Rolex and are interested in trading up, we also have Rolex buyers on site every day. Just another example of how we're forever changing the jewelry landscape here. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans, at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Sports 56 traffic.
Of traffic over here at Winchester at Bollingshire. Again, that's on Winchester. It's got traffic blocked in both directions. Also, they're trying to clear up a couple of earlier accidents. Central at Fenwick, traffic's busy around the airport up and down sections of Tullahoma. That's picked up also. It's starting to build now, finally, over here on 40 westbound. As you approach Sycamore View Road, getting on that 240 flyover, some of that traffic getting off there onto Sam Cooper. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your Mother's Day headquarters. Shop local this Mother's Day. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So baby, dry your eyes. Say all the tears you've cried. Us, what dreams are made of.
Welcome back, everyone. 7:33 the time. As expected, Dr. Bill Hargrave announced yesterday via social media that Jeff Crane, our good buddy who comes on every Tuesday here on the show, the deputy AD at the University of Memphis, will become the interim athletics director as the national search will begin for a successor to Laird Veach, who was formally announced as the new AD at Missouri yesterday as well. Jeff will do a great job in whatever capacity and certainly will be in the running for the full-time job, but there will be a number of terrific candidates. We talked about some of those potential candidates yesterday on the show, but again, I think they're in good hands with Jeff.
Certainly, yes. Jeff has done a great job in his role since being at the University of Memphis, and certainly will do a good job here, and we'll see how long it takes for them to officially decide on a successor to Laird Veach and permanently in that position. But in the interim, yes, Jeff, they are in good hands with Jeff.
NFL draft begins tomorrow. I'm excited about it. I'm sure a lot of you folks are that love the draft. I don't get bored with it even. And I don't get a lot of opportunities to watch on Saturday. Usually something's going on. I might be doing a baseball game. But I always like to pop it on when I can and then try to go back as they scroll all the names that have been picked that I have missed. That's just something I dig. I dig the draft. I always have, both the NFL draft and the NBA draft. But tomorrow night, dreams will begin to come to fruition for these young men. Interesting note here from Adam Schefter about a particular quarterback. It has nothing to do with the draft, but league sources telling Schefter that the Steelers, they do not expect to pick up the $25 million fifth-year option on quarterback Justin Fields, who they acquired from the Chicago Bears for a conditional 2025 sixth-round pick. Fields and Russell Wilson both now will be entering the last year of their contracts. Interesting, because Wilson is at the very end of his career, and Fields, hopefully for him, has a long, long career still to come. But if Fields doesn't have that opportunity this year to play, meaning Russell Wilson has won the job and he's doing a good job for Pittsburgh, then they won't have a good idea about Fields to make a decision on whether to keep him for the future, sign him to a new deal. But if Fields wins the job, which, again, most people don't expect him to start the season, but an injury, ineffectiveness, things of that nature, Fields could be thrust right into the moment to try to help the Steelers get to the postseason, and that could change his fortunes all around. So nothing's set in stone. When they picked up Fields for what they picked him up for, I was shocked, and I think a lot of people were as well. But then second, it was, okay, he's the future, right? He's got to be the future. Wilson will finish off his career in the next couple of years, and then Fields will take over. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I think with the fifth-year option, I don't think they want to give him that, pick up that fifth-year option when, and I don't know exactly what his is, how much the fifth-year option is for him, but it's going to be more money than you would want to pay a backup quarterback. And so you're picking that up now. If things work out or whatever, and he ends up being your starter, you believe he's going to be the starter the next year, then you can, or if he's going to be the backup, you can try and negotiate a free agent contract with him. But I don't think you just want to pick up his fifth-year option and guarantee that money when you don't know what he's going to be.
Well, that's the dilemma. But if you think he's going to be the future quarterback for your team, then you pick it up, because if not, then he becomes a free agent, and you may lose him there. But you're right. If you don't get to see him, you don't know what he brings to the table in a Steelers uniform. So that's quite the dilemma, certainly, for the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Chicago Bears, of course, have the number one pick.
Yeah, his fifth-year option is $25 million.
Yeah, I figured it had to be pretty steep. Bears have the number one pick. They'll take Caleb Williams. This is the third time that the Bears have had the number one pick in the draft. In 1936, you remember this one?
I do.
Tom Harmon. Now, I remember Tom Harmon. Tom Harmon's son, Mark Harmon, former football player but actor. I think he's on one of those CSIs, those 100 different CSIs they have, I think. But Tom Harmon, his father, was picked number 1 in the 41 draft, 1941. So, so it's 41, not 36. 36 was the first NFL draft. So the 5th overall NFL draft, the Bears had the number 1 pick. In 1941, took Tom Harmon. And then 6 years later, in 1947, they had the number 1 overall, and they drafted Oklahoma State halfback Bob Fenimore. Those were the days, and those days continued for a long time, when running backs were more important seemingly than quarterbacks, and they always went number 1. Now, you may not have a running back in the first round. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, those were the days when they didn't know about the forward pass. So running backs became a lot more important when you weren't throwing passes.
Yeah, but running backs were important in the 70s. Running backs were important in the 80s. Running backs were important in the 90s. They were taken seemingly endlessly in the first round. And I don't have the number 1 picks in front of me, but I know quarterbacks probably lead the way. But certainly running backs were treasured much more than they are now. You would admit to that, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I'm not talking about, the forward pass is a great joke there, and you're right about that. But I'm talking about here in modern football, when running backs used to be a priority for teams. No longer are they. No longer. And again, more than likely, no running back will be selected in the first round. Speaking of running backs, yesterday Joe DeLeon joined us to talk about the draft, and I also asked him about, because he covers college football and with the NFL extensively. I asked him about Dallin Hayden going to Colorado to play for Deion Sanders. And he brought up Dylan Edwards, the running back, and he said, well, Edwards is basically saying it's a nice tandem. Dylan Edwards is hitting the transfer portal. Colorado's losing yet another player. Now, is Edwards hitting the portal because Dallin Hayden's coming? Which would be like the reverse role from what happened in Columbus, Ohio for Dallin. They brought in Quinshon Judkins. They just added to their running back room and seemed like Dallin to be the odd man out. He went into the portal like most athletes would do now in that situation. Nails down a new home in Boulder, Colorado, beautiful Boulder. And now all of a sudden, boom, Dylan Edwards, unless it was already in the mix. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because of that or not, but now that is every one of their top rushers from last year basically is gone. So, and again, I don't know if they brought in anybody else in the running back position along with Dallin, but basically the running backs from last year that got the carries, they are all gone now. So that it looks like it's a great opportunity for Dallin to go in there and be the guy in the backfield. Because they're, again, unless they brought in some other ones that, but Hankerson's gone, Edwards is gone, McCaskill's gone. That's their guys from last year.
Has it gone from Shangri-La in his first year? All eyes were on Boulder. Stars, from stage and screen and the music world wanted to go see games when Colorado was playing because of Coach Prime. And now, can I even use this word, toxic? That all these players want to leave? And it's not just players it's not just Deion weeding out players like he did last year when he took the reins. These are players on their own going in a different direction, not liking what they're seeing there.
Well, it's going to be about, does he win? In the end, if he wins this year, but last year it was understandable to come in and it was the complete changeover of the roster. Some people you could explain about they were terrible, so they needed basically a whole new roster. But now with another year, theoretically, you should be getting better. They had the great start, but then the terrible finish, and now it's if guys are leaving for whatever reason, and you end up, if it's a 2-10 season, it ain't going to be good. I mean, that's, they obviously still have his son, who's awesome, and, Travis Hunter, who's awesome. But if you have a 2-10, 3-9 type year, and then those guys leave for the draft, it's. I mean, in the end, he's still going to have to win. He brought a lot of attention, and they're going to pay a lot of attention when you're losing, and there's a lot of people hoping that you lose.
When we come back, is Memphis about to land a big fish on the basketball court? Plus, Caitlin Clark's deal with Nike revealed. It's coming up when we return.
This hour of our program is brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Folks, again, great grilling weather that we've got right now. Great time to fire up a Big Green Egg and cook whatever it is that your heart desires, because it's going to taste great. When you get the Big Green Egg, it is the best grill there is. You go to biggreenegg.com, get all the details. Check out all the different sizes. They got 7 different sizes of the Big Green Egg for you to choose from. All the accessories as well that help you make that food taste even better with the Big Green Egg. It's the last grill you'll ever need to buy. It comes with that lifetime warranty. The Big Green Egg.
You're tuned in to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The founders of Bell Tavern, Memphis' perfect neighborhood bar, like to say that Bell Tavern was created to be an adult bar. Obviously, you have to be an adult to drink at any bar, but at Bell Tavern, you are expected to act like one. You can always go to a bar at a chain restaurant to find people that feel compelled to shout when they've had a couple of cocktails and people that want to get wound up about something. Or you could tuck into Bell Tavern in historic Barbaro Alley in downtown Memphis and enjoy great drinks, great food, and great conversation. Like grown-ups.
Welcome to Triumph Auto Sales, where you'll have a great car buying experience. Triumph Auto Sales is your #1 source of quality pre-owned vehicles ranging from lease returns to new car trades, all at huge savings. Plus, Triumph has a full array of financing options to meet your needs. Find your next car online at triumphautosales.com or stop in today at 4875 Elmore Road. Triumph Auto Sales will help you get the vehicle you want at the price you need and the service you deserve. For a great car and a great experience from a local and family-owned business, visit Triumph Auto Sales.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, Then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by the Big Green Egg. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
So yesterday we were talking about Jaden Quaintance, the five-star big man who committed to Kentucky and then decommitted and jumped in the portal once Cal left to go to Arkansas. And while others have done the same and have followed Cal to Arkansas, the latest could be Billy Richmond, who is planning to visit Cal in Fayetteville. Jaden Quaintance, came out yesterday that he does not have Arkansas in his mix anymore. No longer Arkansas. So, while Kentucky's still trying to hold on for dear life and get him back with Mark Pope, Louisville, he's already paid a visit to Louisville. Memphis is on that list, and as it was reported yesterday, I believe he's taking a visit to Memphis this weekend. There is a chance that Memphis could land this guy. Memphis has had a mixed bag with bigs, certainly some big hits and some big misses, but they've produced some guys in the NBA that have taken the ball and run with it. From Jalen Duren to Precious Achiuwa. Then, of course, the debacle with Wiseman, who's in the NBA. And, of course, last year, Jordan Brown, which fizzled out very early. This kid's 16 years old and is a stud. Played in the recent Jordan Brand Classic, I think it was. And, again, we'll see. But there's a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't have no crystal ball here or inside information. But Arkansas no longer in the mix, stunning to me. I thought it was a given.
I mean, listen, some people will follow the coach no matter what. Others may, it may have been that Kentucky's still Kentucky. And so that coach at Kentucky is more attractive than that coach at Arkansas.
Yeah, but you have Arkansas and you have those Fortune 500 companies stepping up, and I'm not sure what Quaintance can get at Kentucky. I'm sure it's a lot. Have a feeling that in Fayetteville you can get a lot more. But here in Memphis now, with FedEx stepping up, there's those strong NIL possibilities. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know the guy, and I'm not going to sit here and speculate about a bidding war for him, but a kid who's that talented, has that much potential, those schools, and maybe there's some others in the mix that has not been reported. They're going to want his services and do whatever they can. Speaking of Kentucky and Mark Pope's roster, not roster, but his coaching staff, he has added Alvin Brooks III. He has named him associate head coach. Alvin Brooks was on Scott Drew's staff, who, in an ironic twist, turned down apparently the job at Kentucky to stay at Baylor. But Alvin Brooks III is headed to Lexington. Jason Hart, the former G League Ignite head coach, former USC assistant, he's on the staff. Cody Fugger, who came over with Pope from BYU, he's on the staff. And Mark Fox, remember good old Mark Fox?
Mm-hmm.
Former Georgia head coach, among other schools. He's a special assistant on that Kentucky staff.
Matt texts in on the Sissy's Log Cabin listener line at 901-360-8255. Says, I saw reports he's looking for like $2 million. Do you think we should pay that?
I don't think Memphis has $2 million to pay him. They're not taking 2/5 of that money allotted to them from FedEx. And of course, there's other money, certainly. They have two different collectives.
The basketball team already had, but the basketball has.
I don't know if they have that kind of money to give. Yeah,
I don't know if they can afford $2 million. I don't know how good the kid actually is. I have no idea.
Would I do it? No. I would have to set a cap. I would not do it, but that's me. $2 million? No. I think I would cap it at $1 million.
If you were going to pay that type of money, I would first try and pay it to David Jones to get him to come back.
And again, we talked about that. It was a great story from Jason Munns about how they can work around or try to work around getting him that kind of money for being a foreign-born player, as he is, having been born in the Dominican Republic. Caitlin Clark, according to reports, her deal with Nike will pay her a reported $28 million. Do you remember the length? Is it 7 years?
I don't
Zach,
know
can you look up the details? I want to say 7. That pops out. I don't know why I didn't write it down. But $28 million. Of course, she's getting a signature shoe as well. Wow. That's just Nike. She already does State Farm commercials. She'll do a hell of a lot more endorsements. That's going to be one rich young lady.
Well, she has State Farm. She has Gatorade. She has Xfinity. She has Gainbridge.
She has commercials for all them?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen her other than State Farm.
She does the Gatorade one where she talks about other girls that could do this and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then she has the Xfinity one where I can't remember what that one is. Gainbridge I haven't seen. I just know she signed that deal because of their association with Indiana and the Fever. But yeah, I mean she's a pretty big deal. People tend to like her and like watching her play. She's the first 2-time winner of the Sullivan Award that she won. I mean, she is kind of a big deal.
Are we talking here when it's all said and done, $40-50 million a year?
I have no idea what her deal with State Farm and all those, Gatorade, all those would be. I have no idea how much type of money that is.
Well, we know the viewership for the WNBA will go up. And I think last year it actually went up a little bit too. It's still something that doesn't tickle my fancy, although if I see that it's on, I'll pop it on. But do you think there's going to be a significant increase in viewership across the board of the WNBA or just games that she's involved in?
Just games she's involved in. It's great for women's sports, what she has done. But in the end, I believe it's just her. I think college women's basketball next year, it may be up from where it used to be, but it's going to come back down. I think it is just a fascination with Caitlin Clark. People like watching Caitlin Clark. Not that they now have found women's basketball and love women's basketball. They love watching Caitlin Clark play basketball.
There is stories out there about why African-American women basketball players don't have a signature shoe with Nike. That's correct, Zach, right? No black female signature shoe with Nike. I think there may be with other companies.
I believe so.
But I think currently, and I forget what shoe company Cheryl Swoops had the deal with. It may have been Nike, but she's been long retired. But Asia Wilson is the one they bring up, who is a fantastic player. So, I think it's an interesting point. I don't know what her popularity is, and I don't know what the reasoning would be from Nike, but you would think that makes sense, that Asia Wilson or somebody else of color would have a shoe. But it also makes sense why Caitlin Clark has a shoe. And for people to make that argument, it doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be both. Certainly bringing up that point is an interesting point that I'm sure Nike is looking at. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if they go ahead and one of these players, if not more, end up having a great deal with Nike and a signature shoe. But it's understandable why they're seizing the moment, striking while the iron's hot, let's say, with Caitlin Clark. They're a business, for goodness sakes.
Here's why she does and they don't. Because they're not her. They don't draw millions of eyeballs. Like it's simple. That doesn't do it whether she's white, black, or anything. She draws millions of eyeballs every single game she plays.
Right.
That's why she's got one.
Well, and again, there shouldn't be an argument why she has it and why she has this deal. And for people that make that argument or turn it into race or anything like that, it's ridiculous. They're shrewd business people. Phil Knight and company, they built that company from nothing. I'm sure you've seen the movie. And they do that because they're intelligent people. But it doesn't mean that with the growing sport that it is, and it started to grow even before Caitlin Clark, that one or a few of these women deserve to have also signature shoes if they feel it is monetarily beneficial to this organization, this company.
You can argue about what the records mean and whether she's the greatest women's basketball player of all time, whatever. I don't know. I can't. I don't have my. I'm not going to sit here and argue about who the greatest women's basketball players of all time are. I know who the most popular women's basketball players of all time, and it's not even close.
Yeah, no argument there. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, hour number 2, we will open it up talking with Tim Buckley from the Daily Memphian. What direction does Memphis go in for their new AD and the legacy of Laird Veach? This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville is now open and the ribbon cutting is April 25th. And Collierville Mugshots is giving away free burgers for a year, a $675 value, no purchase necessary. To enter, follow Mugshots Grill and Bar on Facebook. Like, tag 2 friends, and share. The lucky winner will be announced April 25th. Come by Mugshots Grill and Bar, 656 West Poplar for half-priced happy hour 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. Mugshots Grill and Bar, now open in Collierville. As always, having a good time.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Five Ash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
They're taking care of beerness in Memphis, right on the river with Grind City Brewing and all of their great products. Look, this was a dream come true for a father and son duo. And if you have not been to that brewery right on the river, just to the north of downtown, you're really missing something special. And now you can't miss their products. Wherever you go, you see a brand new label. It's clean, it's beautiful, it's distinctive. You'll know Grind City Brewing, and of course you know their products like Poppy's Pills, that great Pilsner, or Tiger Tail, that very creative craft malt liquor. There's the new Thaddeus Amber Lager. That is absolutely a great light beer. There's the India Pale called Godhopper. It's outstanding. And then there's the Belga, the Belgian-style wheat ale. They keep bringing hits at Grind City Brewing.
It's time to get charging in your new Charger from Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike during our Dodge Power Shot days, and it's your last call to charge forward and pay less. New 2023 Dodge Charger SXT, we Gossett at $27,599, $27,599 or $419 a month. That's $10,000 off MSRP. Plus 2023 Dodge Charger Scat Pack now $7,000 off MSRP or $659 a month. And get to Gossett during Ram Truck Month. 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab $6,000 off MSRP. Plus 0% for 72 months on select models. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. Online, GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett and Gossett Motor Cars.
All 75 months at 8.99. Charger PH 636 167 MSRP 37715. Scat PH 612 877 MSRP 55110. Ram RG 19347.2 MSRP 65925. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawild Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning, filling out paperwork on an earlier collision we had on Winchester at Bowling Shower. That should be completely out of there, hopefully in just a few more minutes. Now, it's busy out here on 40 westbound as you come past 269 coming in from Fayette County into Shelby County as it increases with more volume. 40 east across the bridge over from West Memphis. 240 east over here at Poplar still wants to get a little bit heavy. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in the Memphis area. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Genuine diamonds, baby.
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Well, Commander Chuck just freaked me out, man. I don't know what that was. I thought it was back in the 60s, man. Welcome back, everybody. Hour 2 of the program, the Wednesday, April 24th, 2024 edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you from the Family Leisure Studios. Family Leisure, where family and fun come together. 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40. Second hour of the program is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers. They are your family's jeweler at 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. Mother's Day right around the corner. Get something special for mom, right? Every year. And sometimes you think about it and you go, I'm going to get mom some flowers and a nice card. No, think outside the box. Think about nice jewelry, nice pair of earrings or a pendant. James Gaddis Jewelers also can take old family heirlooms and modernize them for you. They can give it a whole new look. Just bring it on in to James and they will tell you what they can do. They'll give you a 3D rendering of what it will look like. James Gaddis Jewelers, for all your jewelry needs, whether it be engagement rings, wedding rings, personally designed wedding sets, watches of all types, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, pendants, plus one-of-a-kind estate and vintage jewelry. And what this is, you go to those estate sales and they pick up some amazing pieces and offer them up to you at a great deal. James Gaddis Jewelers will also buy your gold, silver, and diamonds, give you top dollar for that. If you need something appraised, James is a certified appraiser. It's James Gaddis Jewelers, your family's jeweler, 4900 Poplar between Mendenhall and St. Nick. On the web at gaddisjewelers.com. As promised, time to talk a little bit more about what's happening at the University of Memphis, specifically in the athletic director's department. And we do so with our friend Tim Buckley. He is the deputy sports editor and senior writer for the Daily Memphian. He joins us now on Sports 56 Mornings. You can follow him on Twitter at BuckleyTim18. Tim, good morning.
Morning, Greg. My ears are still ringing a little from that very loud intro music. And get off my lawn.
Yes. I was only a little kid in the 60s, but I imagine a lot of days were spent like listening to that reverb from your different music and things of that nature. All right, so much positive here in recent weeks and in recent days for the University of Memphis with the deal with the NIL, with FedEx, obviously the money that Fred Smith and family have given for the renovations to Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium, on and on and on. The Laird Veach news, is it devastating? Is it negative? Is it, okay, we'll move on and find somebody to replace him? How much of a hit does Memphis take by losing their AD to Missouri?
Frankly, I see it as a positive. I mean, he did a lot of the heavy lifting, which will make the job that much more enticing for whoever comes in behind him. And B, just kind of like, a coach. This isn't, a coach leaving because he's unsatisfied with his current situation. It's not a coach who was fired because his teams weren't performing. It's somebody who was elevated to an SEC position out of a, AAC Group of 5 position. It makes total sense, and to me it brings even a little more credibility. You never want to be known as a stepping stone program, but the fact of the matter is that if you're in the Group of 5 currently, for a lot of people in a lot of places, they're looking at stepping stones to get into Power 5 or whatever the heck, Power whatever we're calling them these days.
I mean, and yeah, again, in the end, that's the reality of the situation. It's just like when Justin Fuente left and then Mike Norvell left. Like, if your coaches, if your administrators are getting better jobs by being here, it helps in the hiring process because now other ADs or potential ADs can look at this job and go, it's a job that I can go into and elevate myself and my career to that next step. So it increases your pool of candidates because it looks like a good job that can take them to another level.
Absolutely. And it also means that whoever the person who's leaving for that higher echelon job, they did a good job where they were. So you were the beneficiary of what was done during their reign there. Now, look, I know a lot of feathers were ruffled when Laird Veach, kind of flirted with the Missouri job when it opened the first time around. But that happens in the industry too. Somebody's at a place for a year or two, and a much more awesome opportunity opens up, or possibly a dream job type situation opens up. Of course, you're going to look at it. I mean, that's just the way this business works. It's people kind of framed it as though he had 1 foot out the door since he got here and everything, perhaps largely because of that. But somebody dallies your dream job paying double your salary at you, you'd be a fool not to pursue the opportunity and at least sniff into it and see what the possibilities are, no matter how long you were at the prior position.
No question about it. And this was, in fact, a dream job. This is a job in which he's worn a few different hats at Missouri in the past. So there's that connection. There's that comfortability with that university, that area of the country, for his family. It makes sense. That's what we talked about yesterday, thanking him for a job well done, wishing him well. But now somebody's going to have to take the baton and run with it. It's not like FedEx and these deals were deals with Laird. Laird helped get those deals done, which he needs to be credited for. But the deals were made with the university. And it doesn't mean that by any stretch of the imagination, Laird's leaving, these deals are going away. No, these are still in place, and probably more so in the future with this great relationship that the university has with FedEx. But it is important now to find a successor that has that foresight, like Laird Veach, to look into the future and see what is possible for Memphis. Laird tried, Tim. I mean, he did whatever he could to try to get this university and this athletic department in a great position to get plucked by one of the power conferences. It didn't happen. Maybe it'll happen in the future. Maybe it won't. But that person who comes in has to have that mindset.
Oh, absolutely. And that goes to the point of what kind of new athletic director do you bring in? Do you bring in somebody who's a money man? Do you bring in somebody who's a deal maker and probably can or possibly can better position you to get into a so-called better conference? Do you bring in somebody who's a fundraiser, who's going to schmooze more and better with the big boosters and the commoners alike, and come up with the rest of the money for the rest of the match on the Smith family donation, the $50 million that was a matching donation for the stadium renovation. Do you bring in somebody who's going to based largely on a good relationship with the president? That matters. That's huge when it comes to just working relations at the university level. But I would think that the effort to elevate them from the AAC has to be super high on the priority plate for whoever walks in.
Yeah, obviously, that's the big goal, I guess, of everybody that comes into that chair now. You're going to be thinking, like, how do we get to that next level? It seems like over the past, I don't know how many years, like, the AD's role has changed a lot more into it's a lot about just fundraising and those relationships, and especially now in the NIL world where you're trying to raise NIL money on top of all the money you need for various projects. Like, that is such a big part of it. So along that line, do you think that they would go down the route of a person who may already have those pre-existing relationships with those people that you need that money from?
It's a possibility. I can't read the mind of Bill Hargrave, who is the person who ultimately make this decision. But he might just want somebody who he's comfortable with, no matter what their skill set is. You might want to bring in the development or the fundraiser type person, because there's a lot more lifting to be done in that regard. And this is not an easy place to raise funds. And like you said, the role has been ever evolving. There are some athletic directors who don't want to hear a peep about fundraising, but they have a designated number two that's all they do. Mm-hmm. Some of the bigger SEC programs, things are divvied up, and one of the deputies, that's their sole responsibility. And then there's other athletic directors at a lower level. I can think of one in particular that I just saw a few weeks ago, that they're in the number one seat, but raising money is what they're all about, and that's what makes them successful. So it'll be interesting to see what direction they ultimately go.
Yeah, and just to add to that point, we don't know what's going through the mind of Dr. Hargrave and others who will be involved. If anybody else is involved, maybe the board is involved in the decision-making, but I think ultimately Dr. Hargrave makes that decision. How much importance, and Bill hasn't been at Memphis for that long, how important will it be to bring in somebody who has ties to Memphis, has been in the administration, or even an elevation of somebody like Jeff Crane, or do they look to go outside the box completely? I mean, these are, again, questions that will eventually be answered, but there are a number of really good candidates who has spent time with the University of Memphis that have moved on and have become athletic directors or other administrators at other schools and have succeeded.
Oh, absolutely. There's, look at what Larry Veach did. He went back to a place where he was early in his athletic administration career. So a lot of these things do come full circle, and there are multiple, I think at least 5 current sitting ADs who previously spent time at Memphis in a sub-AD position. And when you're in a situation where raising money is super high on your priority list, in addition to some of the other things we talked about, like getting into a better conference, that goes that goes a long way toward the ultimate goal that you're trying to achieve. And in some cases, it won't mean creating new relationships. It'll just mean, kind of reigniting old relationships. And that's usually a lot easier and goes a lot quicker. So I'm sure that factor will be weighed.
It is. It goes, certainly this athletic department is at a better spot now than what it was when Laird Veach came here. Obviously, again, that FedEx deal, the upcoming renovations to the stadium, all of these things. There is so much positive momentum for whoever the new guy or new woman is. But in the end, it seems like everybody will be judged in that position about, can you get this team into a new conference? And so there's still that ultimate challenge sitting there, even though the job's a much better one.
It is a much better one, but it's one that whoever takes it knows that they're going to be in a tough spot, and that'll factor in who your candidate pool is. Pretty much anybody who's at a level sub-Memphis and or anybody who's at a Power 5 position in less than an AD seat would be looking at a pay bump if they took this job. Laird made right around $600,000 last year. Most deputy ADs are not making that much. Somebody, for instance, at a high-profile Sunbelt school, making right in the low $400,000 range for one in particular that I'm thinking of. So you're probably not going to get a current Power 5. I'll keep using that phrase until somebody shoots me in the head and I'm forced not to.
So somebody tells us what we're supposed to call them.
Exactly. You're not going to get a current Power 5 unless there was a change in administration at the top and some new president, somebody sitting there knowing that the new president's probably going to want to bring in his own guy. And so they're looking to just kind of have a safety net. I don't think you would want that kind of person, quite frankly, but there's that possibility as well. So, again, it'll be interesting.
Timing is never great. It really never is. But I think exceptionally, it definitely at this time, you hate to have any upheaval because Memphis is about to take over ownership of Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. They are about to begin renovations of that stadium. There's so much going on, and now they're man down. So I wonder how quickly this position will be filled. I would think that it's not urgent, but I think, because you want to do your due diligence to get the right person, but I would think sooner than later with everything that is going on with that university. Before we let you go, what would you say the lasting legacy is of Laird Veach? Maybe one thing that we'll remember him for.
He was in the hot seat when they needed to get the NIL money situation figured out and the stadium situation figured out, and both of those were done. It was a situation where, look, maybe Laird wasn't, the primary person on the entire $220 million package, but you're kidding yourself if you don't think he had a huge hand in all of that coming together. And on top of that, having everything in place for when it did finally come together to have the renovation project begin in. The renovated Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium will be a huge part, I think, of the legacy, as will a generously funded NIL fund that he passes on to his successor.
There are a lot worse legacies. That's pretty impressive, and I think you're absolutely right on with that. He's Tim Buckley, Deputy Sports Editor, Senior Writer for the Daily Memphian. You can follow him on Twitter at BuckleyTim18. Thank you, Tim. Talk to you soon.
You got it, guys. Take care.
You too. It is now official. Reggie Bush is getting his 2005 Heisman Trophy back. The decision comes amid, quote, enormous changes in the college football landscape,
with a formal reinstatement coming today.
Good for him.
It's interesting because he deserves it. He deserves the Heisman to be returned. Yet, when he did what he did, it wasn't legal. I mean, you couldn't do what – now you can. Now you pay players to play. But in retrospect, back when he was doing it in 2005, which wasn't that long ago, 2 decades ago, what he did wasn't kosher. And that's why they pulled the trophy from him. So it's interesting. If you can go back and right wrongs, even though I don't know if they're righting a wrong here, because, again, what he was doing back then, you could argue whether or not they should have taken the trophy. I never thought they should have taken the trophy. But
well, it's just dumb to me because we all know Reggie Bush won the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
So, like,
you
all the vacated stuff, all that stuff. He won the Heisman Trophy. So, like, whether you take the trophy or not from him, he won the Heisman Trophy. So just give him the damn trophy and let's call him a Heisman Trophy winner.
You didn't brainwash yourself? You didn't? I mean, you still remember that he won the Heisman Trophy? I mean, didn't we all have to dip? We had to dip our heads into some kind of solution to forget about that, right?
Believe me, I've killed a lot of brain cells through the years, and there are nights I can't remember. But Reggie Bush, I remember winning the Heisman Trophy.
Well, you know, if they knocked down the Coliseum, right? Nobody will remember what happened there, so you can't do that. But no, I'm happy that he was able to get it back, and now he can continue on with Wendy's commercials
as a Heisman Trophy winner.
As a Heisman Trophy winner. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we're shifting gears. We're talking Cardinals. We're talking Major League Baseball. Our good friend Mike Claiborne will join us. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like, I couldn't do pull-ups. I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
All 650 acquisition P 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE 756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Fiveash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024.
Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. If you are a first-time guest or have dined with us countless times, I want to thank you for making us part of your lives. Whether you're celebrating with the crowd or planning a cozy date night on the town, Napa Cafe can provide you an extraordinary evening. We have 5 dining rooms, including our private wine cellar, our Jan's room for 2 guests, and the Eleanor room for parties up to 60. Sit back, relax, and celebrate. Leave the cooking to us. Come see me at Napa Cafe, 5101 Sanderlin Avenue. We're open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. We also offer curbside pickup from our full menu. For details on our stay-in, dine-out menu or reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe in 2024. We can't wait to serve you.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J, because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935, includes all rebates and incentives, must finance through Hyundai, excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024, dealer stock only.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. Still a couple of accidents in the clearing stages. It remains heavy westbound I-40 between Germantown Parkway all the way up to Sycamore View Road. It can get crowded over here pretty quickly at times on 240 east and westbound at Walnut Grove Poplar. It continues to build in from Collierville. That's been in pretty good shape so far as you work your way down 385 Billmores Parkway towards 240. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Diamonds are forever. Woo!
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
The Major League Baseball season off and rolling. The Cardinals, not so much. Currently sitting in last place in the National League Central, but plenty of time to go. And it's always a pleasure to talk Cardinals baseball, to talk Major League Baseball with the one and only Mike Claiborne from the Cardinals Radio Network. You can check out Claibs on his website. That's Claibs Online. Follow him on Twitter at Claibs Online. And guess what? We get Mike Claiborne before Flag Day, which is June 14th. Welcome, Mike. How are you?
I'm good. I wish you'd have called me on June 15th. I'd have a better idea what the hell's going on in St. Louis.
I'm just looking at these standings briefly, and they're 5 games out, plenty of time. But I see the run differential: Brewers plus 32, Cubs plus 23, Reds plus 21, Pirates are even, the Cardinals minus 30. Did you expect the offense to struggle the way they have?
No, I didn't. But this has been going on since late last year. Spring training was similar. You're not getting productivity from the guys you're counting on. Right. Goldschmidt, Arenado. Nolan Gorman's been streaky. You're playing some young guys in the lineup, and it's just not working. And, the easy thing is to blame the hitting coach, and that's probably your least concern. Turner Ward and Brandon Allen have been at this for a while. They're both former players, and I think that's a plus for them, because you can have a guy with an iPad and show you this and show you that and show you some numbers, but we're talking about 2 guys who had pretty good careers, and they probably been through the wars better than somebody who was at who knows state, coaching the B team. So it's a head scratcher. I don't think there's any doubt about it. And like I said, this was going on in the spring. Nolan Arenado hit his first home run, the second series of the season. Paul Goldschmidt hit 1 home run in the spring. And it's like, again, if those guys aren't going, our chances are very difficult.
Yeah, Goldschmidt's numbers are like it's almost like eye popping. He's got a negative WAR so far on there. He's in 186. He's got an OPS of 542. Like, is it? Did he get off to a slow start last year too? Like, I can't remember, but like,
yeah, you know what? But he was traditionally a slow starter. You know, the MVP year was really kind of a unique scenario for him because in the past, you know, he was a guy you normally didn't see until, you know, May or June as far as offense was concerned. Last year, though, it was the same. I mean, where he just didn't have it going. And now he's striking out at an alarming rate. And I don't know how you fix it, to be honest with you. You know, somebody asked me yesterday, what's up? And I said, I don't know. And seldom do I not have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it could be anything from maybe age, maybe pressing, maybe no protection in the lineup. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on. And I'm not sure if there's one specific reason on why he's not producing, let alone the team.
I'm not around that team like you are. I'm just looking at numbers, but I'm trying to find some bright spots. Contreras, maybe. Mason Wynn hitting over 300?
Mason Wynn's probably the more pleasant surprise because most people who've never seen Mason Wynn play and they saw him on a 6-week basis last year, that was the only thing we heard in the offseason. Well, if Wynn doesn't hit, you know, Tommy's going to have to play short. But Tommy's not playing for a while, okay? So Mason Wynn took advantage of the situation and has been very consistent. Now, my concern with him is he's played a lot of baseball and is going to play a lot of baseball. And physically, can a guy like that who's going to play more games than he's ever played in his career, can he hold up? You know, he's not a big guy. But, you know, so far so good with him. But he's probably been the one pleasant surprise. Ivan Herrera has swung the bat well. His defense has been a little questionable. So that's a trade-off there. Everybody else, yeah.
The other young guys, Victor Scott, was he just kind of overwhelmed, not ready?
Yeah. You know what? He got off to a good start in the spring, but, you know, they're throwing fastballs. Okay, everybody's throwing fastballs. You know, season starts. Now he's seeing pitches he's never seen before at this level. And I think he started to press. He was swinging a lot of pitches up in the zone, a lot of fly balls. He's not going to make a living hitting fly balls. And so he just needs to go somewhere and just work on his game. You know, I expect him back here reasonably soon. He has the temperament and the tools to be a very good Major League Baseball player.
And then Jordan Walker, I would assume there was kind of more expected that this might be another leap forward this year.
Yeah, and you know, because of the fact that he spent the whole offseason in Jupiter working with various coaches, and his defense is much better, okay? I'm not sure if he's Gold Glove ready yet, but he's making plays that we didn't see him make last year. Offensively, to me, he just, his upper body isn't connecting with his lower body. He's late on pitches. They're throwing him pitches away, and he's kind of feeling for the ball compared to swinging with authority. And he's hitting the ball on the ground too much. I mean, if Victor Scott had Jordan Walker's ground ball percentage, and if Jordan Walker had Victor Scott's fly ball percentage, we'd be rolling. I mean, it's that big of a difference. I mean, Walker's one of the top guys in the league with ground balls. I mean, he's at like 56%.
Wow.
The average is 42. So, I mean, and I think if Victor Scott hit the ball on the ground that much, it'd be a wrap. Victor Scott would be hitting about 285. He'd be stealing, let's say, he'd be on course to steal 100 bases. Because I haven't seen a guy come close to throwing him out when he does get on base, including the minors.
Mm-hmm. Mike Claiborne joining us from the Cardinals Radio Network, joining us on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line. Pitching-wise, Sonny Gray wasn't available to start the season, but he's been pretty darn good since coming off the injured list. Lance Lynn, second go-around with the Cardinals. Numbers aren't too bad. What would you say as far as the pitching is concerned?
I think the pitching has been okay. Sonny Gray is giving you everything you'd hope for. Lance Lynn has kept you in games. You know, the problem with Lynn and Gibson and certainly Steven Matz, Miles Michaelis, they have one inning that gets away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Pitch count gets up, some runs get scored, and once that's over with, they settle in, and they're pretty tough to beat. Problem is, you just can't play catch up every night, especially with a feeble offense. So that's been the biggest concern. Miles Estelle found himself in the middle of the plate a little too much. Kyle Gibson is a gamer. I mean, this guy, he's going to give you six to seven hard innings every day. And Lance Lynn, I mean, I don't know what more you can say about Lance. I mean, he's getting guys out with 92-mile-an-hour fastballs. I mean, and he's throwing just fastballs for the most part. So the pitching hasn't been an issue as much as it was last year. Mm-hmm. And the bullpen has been pretty solid. My concern is the way they're being used. I don't know if we'll have enough by Mother's Day at this rate. I mean, this is. I mean,
about Flag Day, not even Mother's Day.
Trying to survive to Flag Day.
Flag Day, hell. I mean, we got. It's just. And I don't blame Ollie. That's just the nature of the game. So really, what Ollie's doing. And maybe I talked to you guys about this before. We have we're going to have an 18-man rotation, pitching staff, which means we're going to have to rotate 5 guys throughout the season to keep fresh arms. I would not be surprised if Zach Thompson is sent out today to get a fresh arm up here. Zach Thompson wasn't very good last night, gave up 7 runs in a very short period of time, threw a lot of pitches. So Zach Thompson's not going to be useful to anybody. So we're going to have to draw guys from Memphis to be able to come in and plug a gap or two, maybe spot start, or certainly work out of the bullpen. And I think that's how you're going to have to do it this year if you want to have a bullpen. And you just can't keep using the same guys every night. So Ollie stayed away from Kittredge yesterday, stayed away from Ryan Helsley and Liberatore and some other guys that he's going to probably have to use today. We have an off day tomorrow. So all hands are on deck today, I would think.
We had a Cardinal fan who had texted in and asked about, because obviously with the starting staff, I mean, it's a very old staff. They went out and added older guys this offseason.
Yeah.
They asked, are there any pitching studs on the horizon?
Well, they say Tink Hens could be with us at some point this year, but, he's in Double-A. Okay, so I'm not counting on him to be the difference maker. You have Graceffo, who's in Memphis, and a couple other guys. I have not been following them as close because their season just got started. But I don't know if there's a savior in Memphis as we speak. I just think we need some additions. And Ben Johnson and his staff, they do a really good job in getting guys ready to play in the big league. So if there's one thing I am comfortable with is whoever Memphis sends is going to be able to make some sort of contribution.
Mike, you talked about it not being Ollie's fault, and certainly the slow start is not. But last year was a rough year. He gets the 2-year extension this spring. Were you surprised?
No, not at all. If anybody would have taken a close look at that roster last year, we had no chance.
Mm-hmm.
We thought we did. But you had guys that didn't want to pitch. We had some character issues with regard to how the clubhouse was structured. They've eliminated a lot of those issues. Okay, this is a much more professional clubhouse, professional approach. Guys are playing for each other instead of themselves in contracts. So yeah, I talk to Ollie every day. Okay, and he's maybe one of the most transparent coaches or managers I've ever dealt with in over 40 years. And you can ask him a question, and he won't hem and haw. He'll give you a legitimate answer. Now, he may not be right all the time, but you can see his thought process. And, he has no problem having a debate about it. I mean, and the thing about him is, and I try to remind fans, and you pick the sport, the coaches and managers are going to always have more information than Joe Caller or Tim Texter, okay? And so you have to take that into account, but this is their job, okay? And so they're going to be better prepared for compared to somebody who's, making deliveries or whatever and obviously doing a good job at it, but that's not what they do for a living,
right.
Manage teams or coach teams. So I always defer to them, and again, They may have the information, but may not use it right. They're not perfect. But, we're the generation where everybody wants to second-guess somebody, and then when you give them the backstory on why you didn't do this or why you did do that, and they go, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, we know you didn't know. Dummy.
One thing I did want to ask you about, you guys were just out in Oakland. How depressing is that?
Man, you know what? That's a great question. It's frustrating because you know what? The staff, the ushers, the concessionaires, security, those are the nicest people I've encountered all year.
Wow.
I mean, they really
They're just happy to have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's sad, and the players show up, and we had a crowd of less than 3,000 one night.
I mean, that's
the last day we were there. They had 9,000 because they brought a bunch of kids out for Earth Day. Well, it wasn't Earth Day; it was Career Day. And had they not had kids out there, they probably were staring at 1,500, maybe 2,000 people.
Man,
facilities gone to hell in a handbasket. But the people out there from the grounds crew up are just really hard working and very professional in a very challenging environment. I tip my cap to them.
Hell, they're not going to put any money. They're not even going to change a light bulb probably at that stadium.
No, you know what? I mean, they'd be lucky to give them gas with a lawnmower.
Exactly.
Hey, gas prices are ridiculous.
Mike, before we let you... Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, it's sad, man. But you know what? If you look around baseball, nobody's knocking the doors down to watch this game.
Right.
Cleveland has the best record in baseball, and they're playing in front of, a small gathering. Baseball has got to figure this out quick, man, because the other sports, the NFL, the NBA, have passed baseball with regard to fan interest and attendance and ratings. And we turn this into a local sport compared to a national sport.
Mm-hmm.
And with the TV markets in a state of flux in different cities, it's not a good look. And they've got to figure it out, and they better do it quick before they lose everybody. They'll be behind soccer before you know it.
No, you're right on, and the next time we get you on, let's dive into that topic because you're certainly a person that I want to talk to about that and how they can make it better. But I do want to ask you this before we let you go to give us your thoughts on the loss of Whitey Herzog.
Man, tough loss. Saw Whitey opening day. We were given a heads up that he wasn't doing well. But, Whitey taught St. Louis baseball. I mean, when he came in 81, he gave everybody a lesson on how this works. And Whitey was in the analytics before anybody could spell the word. Instead of using a computer, Whitey used different colored pencils to chart certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And he knew who was going to do what and when. Incredible communicator. He only talked to you when he needed to about baseball. And he put you in a position where you could succeed. And I saw Willie McGee the other day, right after he passed. Willie took it hard. And Willie made a point. He said, if it wasn't for Whitey, there's a lot of guys that you saw play with the Cardinals that may not have played for the Cardinals if somebody else would have been there. And he said, and I'm one of them. He said, right manager at the right time in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what he meant, because Willie was kind of awkward. Mm-hmm. He swung at everything. And there's some managers who wouldn't have the patience. But he stayed with Willie, and he ended up being an MVP and a batting champion and a Cardinal Hall of Famer and everything that came with it. And Whitey had a humorous side to him. Vince Coleman tells a story that he was called up, it's going to be temporary. He ended up never going back. But he was normally a left fielder. Well, one night they put him in right field in L.A. in Dodger Stadium. If you've ever been to Dodger Stadium, that's like a 4-deck ballpark. And Vince lost one in the lights, a fly ball, routine fly, just lost it. No excuse. And he lost it. And so now he's saying to himself, man, I might get sent out over there. They may send me back. So he's sitting at the very end of the bench, the opposite end of the bench, hoping that Whitey didn't see him, which is hard to do. So Whitey walks down and just looks at him and says, bad hop, huh? And then turn around and walk away. I mean, just to let him know, hey, look, man, we're going to be fine. But, he taught us the game, the strategy, and what you want to do in this situation, that situation. And he was still sharp as a tack.
Mm.
I think Whitey might have had a difficult time dealing with the media and agents and things of that. And that was one of the reasons why he quit. He couldn't deal with the agents and the impact they were starting to have on the game. But when it came to knowing the game and planning ahead, Whitey was always, he was 3 innings ahead of most managers and 5 innings ahead of people who call him text.
How about that? How about that?
Well, hey, you got some day baseball today. You got good weather. There's nothing better than a good afternoon.
Yeah, weather's
game.
going to be good today. It's supposed to be low 70s, and we could use it. The weather's been so inconsistent here in St. Louis so far. We need to get some good weather, and I think we'll have better ball play as well. So we'll keep our fingers crossed so we can get this one from Phoenix, get on a plane, off day in New York. I don't know how this is going to work. You know, this California trip almost put me in Chapter 11, you know, as far as expenses. I don't know where this is going to put me. I may just have to sign the back of my check and hand it over to somebody because New York takes no prisoners, man. So we'll see what happens.
I know that. I think everybody knows that. He is the great Mike Claiborne. We appreciate his time. Check him out, of course, on the Cardinals Radio Network, the website Claibs Online, and on Twitter at Claibs Online as well. Mike Claiborne, thank you so much as always, my friend.
Hey, man, always good to hear from you guys. Don't be strangers, and go Memphis Redbirds.
Thank you now. Take care.
East Coast Wings and Grill. Place to go to watch all the, you want to watch Cardinal games? You can watch Cardinal games there. All the Major League Baseball games. They've got the baseball package, so baseball games are always on there. Of course, NBA playoff action, whatever it is that's on, they've got it on their many TVs while you enjoy some of that great food, like their wings with 60 different flavors for you to choose from. They've got plenty for anybody out there. You're going to find some flavor on that menu that certainly you're going to like. They got 7 different heat indexes as well, so whether you like them hot or you like them mild, whatever, they could take care of you there as well. Plus 24 draft beers on tap, all kinds of other drinks as well that you can enjoy while enjoying that great food as well. East Coast Wings and Grill, it's located just off Highway 64, right between Lowe's and Walmart there off Highway 64. In Bartlett, Kate Hyde Boulevard is the street that runs right between those two, and that's where you'll find them. East Coast Wings and Grill.
A Memphis Tigers portal target about to make a decision. We have that info when we return. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 98.5 FM.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
It's time to get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, where we're celebrating the 75th anniversary sales event, and it's time you got your new V-Dub on. Get ready to take your pick of 2024 Taos S, or 2024 Tiguan S, or 2024 Jetta Sport. Your choice, $279.99 a month. Pick the right Volkswagen for you at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Sports. Or get 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for $33,988. So get it done and be ready to ride at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, online, GossettVWG.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36 month lease, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 2366449, MSRP 38981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Everyone needs protection, whether you're on the field or on the road, so make sure you have the best. Bob Simpson State Farm Insurance can buckle you up with auto insurance, can back you up with life and health insurance, cover your business whether it's starting, growing, or maturing, And don't forget to insure your home, no matter if you're an owner or a renter. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call Bob Simpson today at 901-381-1233 or go online and get a free quote at bobsimpson.org. Stay protected with your good neighbor, Bob Simpson. Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does your favorite mixers. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent out to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff, just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
As the seasons change, so does the need for reliable home comfort. It's time to turn to the experts with Choates, where your family's comfort is our top priority. Right now, Choates is making it easier than ever to upgrade your home's climate control with our exceptional Carrier systems. There's never been a better time to enhance your comfort. Select from incredibly low monthly payments, 36 months no interest financing, or choose our $1,650 Cool Cash rebate instead and lower the upfront cost on select Carrier systems. It's not just savings, it's cool cash in your pocket. Low monthly payments, no interest financing, or cool cash rebates? Whatever you choose, you're choosing quality, reliability, and the trusted service of Choates. Call us today at 347-8086 or visit ChoatesHVAC.com to learn more about these incredible savings. But hurry, these deals are as fleeting as a cool breeze on a hot day. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by James Gaddis Jewelers.
Don't you just love it?
Here once again, Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Sometime this afternoon, North Texas transfer Aaron Scott will announce his transfer destination. He's a 6'7" junior and is a heck of a defensive player. And he is considering Memphis, Oklahoma, and St. John's. And according to friend of the show, Adam Zagoria, he believes Aaron Scott will pick St. John's to go play for Rick Pitino. But again, Memphis, one of those three on his list, as he will announce, or at least is scheduled to announce sometime this afternoon.
In light of the Reggie Bush news, a texter on the Sissy's Log Cabin list line says, can Memphis get their 2008 season back now? And the answer would be no. Again, as stupid as it is to vacate stuff. Anyway, one thing to remember with the Reggie Bush situation, this is not the NCAA. This is the Heisman Trophy people. This is the New York Athletic Club, or like the Heisman Trophy Trust. This isn't the NCAA making a decision saying that what he is no longer wrong or whatever. This is an independent thing, just giving him a trophy back.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Again, we are in agreement that it never should have been stripped from him. It's stupid. Players were being paid. Families were being taken care of across the board with a lot of different players and a lot of different sports. It was what it was. But I'm surprised that the New York Athletic Club, the old fogies, would give in now. Because I think the argument would be, well, when you did it, it wasn't legal. There was no NIL. So sorry, we're not giving you back the trophy. But they relented. They gave him back the trophy. All is right in the world.
Like
I wish.
and I don't remember how like vacated wins from his time at USC. They don't get those back. This is just he gets his trophy back from an independent thing.
NBA awards starting to be handed out. Last night, most improved player, Tyrese Maxey.
Certainly can't argue that. He was great. They have an absolute, there is a very clear model of what they go for most improved player. That's 5 straight most improved players who are guys who were pretty darn good to begin with, but then have that breakthrough year where they become an all-star for the first time. Last 5 guys all fit that model.
Is there an award tonight they'll give out?
Tonight is the most... Hold on. 6th man.
6th man. So that's, let's see, Naz Reid's up for that, right? Bobby Portis.
Reed Portis and... Monk. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, hour number 3, speaking of the NBA, we'll talk NBA, we'll talk Grizzlies as we do each and every week with DeMichael Cole. And then in our last half hour, we're going to have fun. We got a lot of different things that we got to get to, but we're going to do a draft, the 3 of us. We're going to do a little draft, and we're going to have fun with that. That'll be coming up in hour number 3. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Hey, Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett, $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett, $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460, Eclipse RZO 342,249 MSRP 29,350, Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33,765, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Sheldon, we've worked together for over 20 years, and we have sold a lot of homes in that time.
That's right. I'm Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with Melanie Simpson, and we're with Marks Bensdorf Realtors. Melanie, I've represented numerous buyers and sellers and always strive to do a good job for whomever I represent.
Sheldon, I know you do, except your golf game is horrible because you spend so much time taking care of your clients. I even heard that you tend to hit people with wayward golf shots.
Only 2 or 3 times, and they're all out of the hospital now. Like I always say, if you're thinking of selling a home, talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers and make sure I'm one of them.
And if someone needs to fill up a foursome, don't call you?
That's right. And find out why people often say when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn.
You can reach Shell Dunn Rosengarten or me, Melanie Simpson, at 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. Do it now. That's 682-1868 or memphisrelocate.com. And
Go Tigers!
Hi, folks. The Chevy Sheriff with good news for car and truck buyers. The Sunrise Chevy Ranch has acres of new Chevys and GM certified in stock, ready for immediate delivery. A $6 million used car inventory and cars and trucks for every budget, and a lot specializing in cars and trucks under $99.95. If you've been turned down by another dealer, see us at Sunrise. We specialize in financing, and SunriseMemphis.com is home of guaranteed credit approval. Cars and trucks may not be free, but at least they're affordable at Sunrise. Together, let's drive to the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston, Levy, and Collierville.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning Warning, and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me. 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Hey, Jason, my main man, Marshall, what's up over there at Gossett Volkswagen on the Pike?
Well, Randy, we know that one size doesn't fit all at Gossett Volkswagen, so we've got a take-your-pick offer that covers all the bases.
Well, everybody I know, including me, loves choices. So, Jason, what do you got?
How about a 2024 Taos S, 2024 Tiguan S, or a 2024 Jetta Sport? Take your pick for $279.99 a month. Plus 1.9 for 60 months on all Atlas and Atlas Cross Sports. Or get a brand new 2024 Atlas Cross Sport SE for only $33,988. And no reasonable offer will be refused.
Ask for Jason, the main man, Marshall, at Gossett Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, or online at GossettVWMemphis.com.
That's Gossett Volkswagen on Covington Pike, where we're charging forward and charging less every day.
All 36 monthly, 7,500 miles per year. Taos RMO 51756, MSRP 26063. Tiguan RM 103,910, MSRP 31363. Jetta RMO 48802, MSRP 25506. Cross Sport RC 236,449, MSRP 38,981. Includes $3,000 rebate. Cannot be combined with special APR. Includes all rebates and incentives. PS 695. Excludes stock title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month with approved credit dealer stock only.
Listen each and every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. and join Ottawa Presbyterian Church for worship. Ottawa is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good morning. It looks like it's still running slow over there in Arkansas, just before you get to Jeanette. Again, that's west of West Memphis on 40 going westbound. Give yourself a little bit of extra time if you're heading that direction. It remains heavy on 40 westbound right now between Abilene and Sycamore View Road. It's also still crowded over here on 240 East, just trying to get up past Poplar towards Walnut Grove. Hey, 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. 9:05 the time. Final hour for us today here on this Hump Day edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg Gaston, Eli Savoy, Zach Boyd with you. Broadcasting live from the Family Leisure Studios. Currently 66 degrees, and we'll get to 78 today, sunny, and then some clouds rolling in. Tonight, 56 for a low, possibly a stray shower or a thunderstorm, but for the most part should be a lovely evening. And then tomorrow, some rain rolls in with a high of 73 degrees. The third hour of the program is brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. They're located at 6 East Commerce in Hernando, Mississippi, which is a short trip from anywhere in the metropolitan Memphis area. They also have stores in Little Rock and Cleveland, Mississippi. They specialize in flooring and carpeting. They're a family-owned and operated local business, and they have variety. Ceramic and porcelain tiles. They have the SPC and WPC vinyls, which are scratch-resistant, waterproof, top-of-the-line, hardwoods by Portercraft, carpeting from Southern Luxury Carpet, on and on and on. They sell it to you wholesale. They skip the middleman, save you lots of money. So it's for both residential and commercial. So homeowners and contractors, do yourself a favor and see what Jenkins Floors and More has to offer. They will install and do so in an unheard of 2-week turnaround. They'll also come to wherever you're located, where your business is, where your home is. They will give you a free estimate, show you samples of what you're particularly looking for, whether it be flooring, whatever the case may be. They do it all. One-stop shop. Jenkins Floors and More, again, family-owned and operated, 662-469-9350, open Monday through Saturday. Go visit them in their warehouse at 6 East Commerce in Hernando. Jenkins Floors and More. Time now to talk some Grizzlies.
2 watches, that's 12. Come through and slam on you. I'm in the air.
It's time to talk some Grizzlies basketball. Joining Greg and Eli is DeMichael Cole. Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Here's DeMichael with Greg and Eli.
Here's DeMichael Cole from the Commercial Appeal, Grizzlies beat writer. You can follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. And, of course, once the Grizzlies season is over, it's probably more NBA than it is Grizzlies, except when the news is coming out on the Grizzlies. DeMichael, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing fine. And there was a little Grizzlies news over the weekend, although nothing official. But since he said it, it came from the horse's mouth, you would think that Yuta Watanabe will follow through and not accept the player option with the Grizzlies and instead, as he indicated, head back to his native Japan to play professional basketball. Number one, is that surprising to you? Number two, what does it do as far as the roster and the finances for the Grizzlies going into next season?
Well, this was the first big domino that you needed to fall in terms of a clarity perspective. This is honestly what the Grizzlies wanted and needed to happen. You know, like it's best case scenario for both sides. We've talked about it ad nauseum about the fact that the Grizzlies just have too many wings right now. Like it's not a bad problem in today's NBA because you know those players that we talked about the Grizzlies have on the wing, and a lot of them can play the 2, the 3. A group of them can go down to the 4 when you talk about LaRavia, Contra on the pinch, Gigi Jackson, you know, etc. So the point is, I mean, they have 8, 9 guys, I believe, 9 guys before you to one another that I classify as wings on a 15-man roster. So that limits your ability to add front court guys and point guard options as well. But point guard depth is pretty good, so more so the bigger power forward and the center type of players. So now you're going into the offseason right now at this point with 13 roster spots filled and 2 open. So the main thing that it does is give the Grizzlies more flexibility. My idea is that I think the Grizzlies have the ability to double down at center potentially now if they want to, because I do still think that one more roster spot, at least one more roster spot is going to open up. Whether that, again, it's going to be something else done with all these wings that they have. You know, the David Roddy trade, for example, was a little bit surprising, but they kind of got ahead of this overload that they have with wings. And it's only an overload because there's some redundancy, you know, and things like that. Like, for example, Vince Williams and John Contra. Like, I think we can agree that Vince Williams is the better player, but what does John Contra do well? He's a decent three-shooter. He rebounds the basketball, exactly. He's a solid defender. Those are all the 3 things that come to mind when you think of Vince Williams, and he's better at it. So you got some redundancy there, and you can afford to, you know, get rid of certain players in that situation. So at the end of the day, you got another open roster spot, which I think gives you the ability to say, hey, even if we draft the center and we want to add a vet to make sure we're solidified at that position, we have the ability to do so now.
Along that line, I was going to, of LaRavia, Conchar, and Zaire, and I won't even ask you for which ones, but how many of those 3 are back next year, you think?
I think 2 out of 3 is solid. I think you're talking about one of them potentially being moved because with each of those guys, there has to be a trade. And I'm firm at this point, unless, you know, let's say there's no bite on Zaire, there's no bite on John Conchar, and the Grizzlies, you know, have an idea of what they want to do with another roster spot. That's the only way I think that Jake LaRavia gets involved in the talk. I think he's kind of safe right now, so to speak. You know, I mean, the way he ended the season wasn't, like, great, but it was enough to realize that, hey, he's only played 2 seasons. He's played 70 games through 2 seasons. So I think the real kind of trade talk comes next season or potentially midway through this season for him because there's some value to him being a stretch forward and playing some at the 3 and whatnot. But Zaire Williams is the one I think that we need to monitor the most. He fits the most 1 year left on his contract, kind of like when Tyus Jones got traded. Steven Adams got traded with a little bit more than a year left on his deal, but kind of the same time frame as well. So I think he fits that mode of, hey, the Grizzlies need to get it out ahead of this and get something back from this guy instead of just losing him for nothing, potentially next year. So Zaire Williams is the guy that I think we should monitor the most.
I'm a big fan of getting something, anything. I hate when they give up a player and get nothing in return. All right, DeMichael, I'm going to put you on the spot. I want you to speculate a little bit. Who do you believe should be, within reason, the top 3 center prospects via a trade or free agency out there that is possibly attainable for Memphis? And also, and again, only if you know the draft prospects. If you don't, I understand. But who would be your top 3 center prospects via the draft that you think could be targets for Memphis if they go in that direction?
Yeah, this is something I've been following very closely. So, I got some answers for you. But
I knew you would.
The center spot, I'm going to give, a splash, and then a safe pick, and then I'll give you a kind of, you try to get some bang for your buck or whatever the case may be. So, the splash pick to me would be Isaiah Hartenstein. He's a fit from, he's going to play his role. This is not a guy you're going to bring to Memphis and he's going to say, hey, I need the basketball. I believe, I can score 15, 20 points per game. You don't got to worry about that. He's going to rebound the crap out of the ball. He's shown this season, I think this is the year he's shown his playmaking ability to a whole nother level, averaging over 2.5 assists. We saw in that last game he had 14, 8, 4 assists. That game. We know about the steals, the blocks, the defensive ability at the rim. And we saw in the perimeter late in that game against the Sixers holding his own against Tyrese Maxey, one of the fastest and quickest guards in the NBA on the perimeter, and chasing them down from behind with blocks. So I think he's your splash guy where you say if you get him, there's I'll put it like this, there's probably minimal loss from the idea of going from Steven Adams to Isaiah Hartenstein because he's a great rebounder too. He's an excellent playmaker, and he gives you those things. I think the safe guy would be someone like Andre Drummond, who's coming off a minimum contract. You won't have to pay him too much money. You know exactly what he's going to be good at. You know he's not going to be a great finisher around the rim these days. He's not going to wow you offensively. But you know he's going to set solid screens, and you know he's going to be arguably the best rebounder on the floor every single night. You know these things. You know you're probably not going to be able to play him 30 minutes. So he's the safe pick. If you say, hey, we want somebody that we know is going to rebound the ball well, and we don't want to pay a lot of money for it, go sign Andre Drummond. If you want someone, you say, hey, we think this guy with a bigger role, he can potentially blossom. And that guy for me is Goga Bitadze. I think in Orlando, if you look at the situation, they have 3 centers, and they have 3 centers that I think, depending on what teams they're on, they could get starting minutes. And they've all gotten starting minutes at different points of the season between Wendell Carter, Mo Wagner, and Goga Bitadze. But Wendell Carter was supposed to be the more well-rounded center. Wagner is the offensive-minded one. And Bitadze is kind of your dirty work type of guy. In his 3 games that he played over 30 minutes, he only averaged 8 points. So, yeah, but he averaged around 9 rebounds. He graded out earlier this season while he was playing, consistently over 20 minutes a game. He graded out as one of the best defensive centers in the NBA, top 5. So when he's played, he's proven that he can be a solid defender, and he can rebound the basketball at a solid level. You're not going to pay a lot to get him. Why? Because you look at these last 2 Magic playoff games, he's played exactly 0 minutes. That is your kind of your swing for it, and hey, let's hope this works out. You rely on your scouting type of guy because of the fact that you look at his production and you look at the depth in Orlando. That's the type of guy, if you're going to swing for someone under the radar, that's the type of guy that you go for. Now, going quick with the draft prospect, I don't think it's too difficult with this one. The first guy is Alex Sarr, and I think some people may consider him a forward. He has like a Jaren Jackson Jr. Type comparison. For example, but that's the first guy. Jonathan Clingan, who I think is the best fit from all the centers that we like. He's the best fit, for the Grizzlies because he's 7'2", 260. There is some limited mobility. There is some injury history there. So again, I'm not sold 100% on the idea of him, but I do feel like he's the best fit there. I might surprise you with this one because some people say Zach Edey, but I'm gonna go Yeez Misi out of Baylor, the Cameroon center. He is my center from an NBA perspective of what the Grizzlies need. He would be third on my list at this point. Think of him like a Nick Claxton, not slim frame, but he can block shots, he can protect the rim. He has not been like a great finisher and things like that, but he showed flashes, this past season, and it was just his freshman year. So I think he is a guy who, when you say those Nick Claxton, Jared Allen, those skinnier centers who can protect the rim and hold their own, he could potentially be one of those guys.
I like your Hartenstein pick, but can they afford him?
That's why I say he's the big bang. Like any big bang is going to be tough for the Grizzlies to get because you're going to have to do a sign and trade. That's how it's going to have to happen. The reason that I bring up Hartenstein because the Knicks have already paid Mitchell Robinson 4 years, $60 million. You would ideally think that Hartenstein would get somewhere similar, maybe a little bit less, maybe 4 and 48, 4 and 52, somewhere around there. Maybe a little bit less than that, but he's going to get paid, well. And it's tough to me to see the Knicks, especially with the rest of that roster that they've gathered, because they're going to have to pay OG Anunoby. We know the Julius Randle situation, Jalen Brunson's new contract is going to come soon, all that. It's going to be tough for them to commit that much money at the center spot when they're not asking their centers to, do too much. So I think he's going to be available. And when you put a center on an open market, it's like running backs. Mm-hmm. It's just like running backs in the NFL. I think that's the perfect comparison. You wouldn't expect, Green Bay's Aaron Jones, after he ran for 100 yards in every playoff game, to get 1 year, $7 million deal, in the NFL. So you probably wouldn't expect some of the other running backs, to get the type of deals that they get outside of maybe Saquon Barkley or whatever the case may be. So the point is, when you put a center on the open market, there is potential there for that guy to be undervalued because, one, a lot of teams have the centers that they want, and two, a lot of teams, when they see all these guys available, they're not going to say, we like that. We like Malik Monk, as a potential sixth man for us and his ability to score the basketball in a guard-oriented league. But let's go get Isaiah Hartenstein to rebound. And, that's not what most teams want. But the Grizzlies have all those things lined up. They have great guard play. They have depth off the bench with potential scorers like Luke Kennard, Gigi Jackson, Brandon Clark, all potential double-digit scorers off the bench. He's a missing piece for this team, so the Grizzlies are going to be one of the few teams that probably are willing to pay him exactly what he deserves, and that would put them in the conversation.
All right, before we let you go, what's jumped out at you as far as the playoffs are concerned so far?
Oh, man, it's been as anticipated. I'm not watching much of the East games, and I'm watching all of the West games. So,
not even Philly? You're not watching Philly, DeMichael?
No. I take that back. Yeah, that's the one but fourth quarter. Like, that's you say, I'll turn it on in the fourth quarter. I don't really want to see Jalen Brunson and Joel Embiid, dancing around all on the court like fish for 3 quarters. Mm-hmm. I'll tune in. I'll tune in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter's been really good. Don't get me wrong. But like Heat, Celtics, and Magic and Cavs and all that, I zero hard interest in those series. But the West is good, right? I mean, the Thunder are the 1 seed, and it took everything in them to beat the Pelicans, in that game 1. The Suns are favored as the 6th seed against the Timberwolves, but they aren't favored anymore. 2 games in. That's been bully ball. I've been really impressed by them. I think the Timberwolves, I kind of want to see them win that series now because I think they match up with the Nuggets better than anybody. Like, the Nuggets are the one team in the West where I feel like I've always felt it's going to be hard to beat them. But you talk about a team. I mean, no team has the size. Like they're the only team that, when you play the Nuggets, they can switch. Like a lot of teams, that the Murray and Jokic pick and roll is so tough because you can't switch a guard onto Jokic because it's automatic 2 points, or he's perfect passing through doubles anytime it is. If you put Jaden McDaniels on Murray, which is probably going to be the case, you switch it. I mean, Jokic is Jokic, like he can score on anybody. But you got a sizable wing who's 6'10" with long arms who can compete until help gets there. So it's a different type of situation. That's why the Suns are having so much trouble at the rim, because when they switch Rudy Gobert onto the perimeter, you say, "Oh, I got this mismatch. Let me beat Rudy Gobert off the dribble." Congratulations, you beat Rudy Gobert off the dribble. Now you got to go against all league potential defender and Jaden McDaniels at the rim, or Karl Anthony Towns coming from the weak side at 7 feet, or Anthony Edwards, flying through the air, nearly hitting his head on the rim, block your shot. Like that's the team, and that's the team that defense is really showing up, and defense wins championships. So I'm impressed by them more than anyone at this point.
Do you vote for all of the postseason awards?
I did.
Did you have Maxey as your most improved?
I did. I had Maxey. I did have Maxey. No. Yeah, I did. I had him, but I went back and forth because I wanted to put, Kobe White, and quite frankly, here was my thing. I put Maxey because for what the award has become, he's the winner. But I'm much bigger on guys who kind of, come from unexpected roles. Like we knew, a lot of us knew that, hey, Harden's gone. This is Max's chance to flourish. He's going to get a bigger role. Like, I just look at that as, hey, he took advantage of the opportunity. Guys like Jalen Johnson, who went from 5 points to 15 points a game, if he had qualified, that would have been my pick. If he would have, met the 65-game minimum. But Kobe White, terrific season from him, like a 9-point jump in average. Those are the type of guys that I think the award should go to, though.
I looked at the last 5 winners were all guys who were already pretty good, but then became an all-star for the first time, and they won it that year.
Your first-round pick, 5-star recruit, or just just one of those type deals with those type guys. So yeah, man, I think we should reward these guys. Come from bench roles and kind of that's what that award's for to me. But yeah.
No, it makes perfect sense. Great stuff as always from DeMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at DeMichaelC. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks, DeMichael.
Yeah, I mean, again, Maxey makes sense.
Yeah, but I hear what you guys are saying.
But a lot of it is just opportunity. Like you took away the dominant ball handler and gave him the ball. Like, his numbers were just going to get better. That doesn't mean he's necessarily a better player or improved. He just has way more of a role than he had before. But I get it. I mean, certainly, I'm not saying that he doesn't deserve the award, but it is. Again, a lot of this award just becomes. I would side more with like what he said. Like, would want to vote for a guy whose numbers have just greatly increased, like huge thing, and not maybe just a huge difference in role, but he just became a better shooter, like those types of things.
What type of
like
jump?
Kobe White's number, like across the board, are just like way different.
What type of jump did Grayson Allen take? Did he have the same role last year?
I mean, he's a shooter. I mean,
he's scoring a lot more points. He has to be, right?
And he got. I mean, I don't remember where he finished in the voting.
So he did get some consideration.
He got some votes, but I mean, he is kind of what he is, and he's one of the guys. He's been in the league like too long doing the same thing, like, and they still just look at him as a shooter.
Gotcha.
And that's what. And on that team, when you're a shooter like that, surrounded by players like that, you're probably going to score more just because you're going to get way more wide open looks than you've ever gotten in your career. Fleet Feet, the place to go to get all your running gear, especially those shoes. You want to make sure you get shoes that are just right for you. Go see the folks at Fleet Feet. You can check them out in East Memphis in the Laurelwood Shopping Center. You can find them in Collierville, Poplar, and Houston Levy next to Huey's. You go in there, they take a look at the way you run, the way you walk, and they get you fitted in shoes that are just right for you, plus everything else that you need. They've got you taken care of at Fleet Feet. You can also find them online FleetFeetMemphis.com is the website. They're on social media as well. You can follow them there to keep up to date with things they've got going on, things that you can get involved with the folks at Fleet Feet.
You're listening to Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. Add in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
All 650 acquisition B, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, what's happening over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah Wonderland?
Randy, we are making magic on Mount Moriah. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month, and a 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease.
And 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9, and always get peace of mind with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
So get over there, Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for a fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Are you aware? It's patio season. Family Leisure sure is. That's why they have factory direct pricing on swimming pools, spas, and even, yes, patio furniture. Yes, sir, it's indeed patio season. So come by Family Leisure and check out all the brand new 2024 patio furniture sets. And with patio season here, you know that pool season will be here before you even know it. So buy now to get in line for your pool installation and get pre-season pricing. Plus, you could save $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, even up to $5,000 on all spas and swim spas. Family Leisure has got special pricing on all in-stock saunas, theater seating, pool tables, and even outdoor kitchens. I love it when it's patio season because of all the fantastic deals that Family Leisure makes available just for you. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun come together.
Challenging, purposeful, rewarding.
I was the only female in my class, so I call them my brothers to this day because they supported me, they helped me. Like I couldn't do pull-ups, I went to the gym, we worked out together, so it was fun.
We have the unique opportunity as deputies of interacting with people at some of the worst and sometimes most transitional or pivotal moments of their lives.
Come join our team, become a patrol deputy with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office.
Hey, Mid-South! Discover your new ride at Gossett Kia on the Pike. You want it? We Gossett with 2024 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 2023 Kia EV6 Wind, rear-wheel drive, $249 a month. Plus, Gossett Kia's got 2024 Telluride LX front-wheel drive, $369 a month. Both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And you'll always find peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So stop what you're doing and call Bobby J because he's ready to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition P, 30,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage. Forte RE756 120, MSRP 22,320, EV6 P56 03393, MSRP 50,200. Telluride RG5 1041, MSRP 37,935. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/2024. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Early Monday morning to Friday at 5, man, I work, but I don't climb.
Welcome back. 9:32 the time. Final half hour for us today here on this Wednesday edition of Sports 56 Mornings. Greg, Eli, and Zach. We just talked Grizzlies and NBA with DeMichael Cole. Kind of got me into that Grizzlies mood with the NBA playoffs, and you see what some of these young teams are doing. You just wonder about the Grizzlies next year, and will they be able to get back to where they had been for a couple of years before this debacle of the season with obviously the injuries certainly put them in a deep, deep hole. But I wanted to take the current roster, and we know this roster is going to change. And so the players that we'll pick from, some of them could very well not be on the team. And in fact, a couple will definitely not be on the team. We know that Yuta Watanabe, unless he changes his mind, will follow through and won't be a member of the team. He will say thumbs down to the player option and go play professionally in Japan. But because we're taking the full roster, we got 18 players to choose from. We are doing a draft, Eli, myself, and Zach, to pick out a 6-player team, 5 starters and your backup. And to see, I don't know, we'll discuss who the best team would be in these 6-team divisions or whatever it is. So we will use the following 18 players, 15 and 3 that are currently two-way guys. So you could pick from Santi Aldama, Desmond Bain, Brandon Clark, Jordan Goodwin, G.G. Jackson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Trey Jemison, Luke Kennard, John Conchar, Jake LaRavia, John Morant, Scottie Pippen Jr., Derrick Rose, Marcus Smart, Lamar Stevens, Yuta Watanabe, Zaire Williams, and Vince Williams Jr. We did a drawing during the break. I will pick first. Zach will pick second. Eli will pick third. And we'll do it like the Serpentine draft. So Eli will go 3, and then he'll pick the next one. So go 3, 4, and then come back to Zach, and then to me, and then I'll get the next 2. So, gentlemen, you ready to write these down? We'll give you a second, Zach. You all
I'm
good?
good to go.
All right. Obviously, first pick doesn't mean that this is going to be the best team, but got to take John Morant, number 1 overall.
Yeah, give me Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
I'll take Desmond Bain and Marcus Smart.
Ooh, okay.
Let me have Gigi.
Perfect. I need a big to go with Ja, and that'll be Brandon Clark. And then I'll come back and I'll take a shooter in Luke Kennard.
Give me Vince Williams.
Eli, get the next 2 picks.
You took GG the first time?
He did.
Or the second time or whatever. I'll take Santi and who's still available here? He's gone. Lamar Stevens.
So who's next? Zach, right?
Yeah, it's me. Let me get Scotty.
So you guys took the 2 I was going to take. I have the next 2 picks. So how many have been picked so far? How many guys? Because 18 total picks. What's the total number of picks so far?
Well, I've got 4.
Yeah, I didn't write down mine.
Zach's got 4.
And I have 3.
Yeah.
So we got 11. We got 7 more picks to go. All right. See, I got Ja, I have Clark, and I have Kennard. So I'm going to take I'm looking for a small forward here that I want. LaRavia hasn't been picked?
No.
I'll take LaRavia. And my other pick will be, I'm going to go backup point guard. I'm going to go Goodwin. So you're next, Zach.
All right. So I guess Zaire, Derrick Rose, Conchar,
Yuta.
And Yuta. And Jemison is still available.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So let's go with. Let's go with. It's kind of slim pickings.
What do you
man.
say? It's the bottom of the barrel
slim
now?
pickings.
Come on, man.
Let's go with Zaire.
Okay. So Eli for 2?
Well, I take Trey Jemison and John Conchar.
Yeah. I think get big. So now it's Zach again.
I have D Rose.
And I'm left with Yuta, correct?
That's correct.
All right. So write these down, and then let's hear the teams. I think right now I might have a dominating team, but you be the judge, listeners. All right. So what do you got? What's my team?
Greg's team. He has Ja, BC, Luke, Jake, Jordan, Goodwin, and Yuta Watanabe.
I get to know my last 3 doesn't sound as strong, but I still got Ja throwing up alley-oops to Clark and Kennard shooting threes. All right, what is your team?
My team, I have Jaron, Gigi, Vince, Scotty, Zaire, and Derrick Rose.
That's pretty good now I think about it. That's pretty good. Okay, and then Eli's.
Eli has Dez, Smart, Santi, Lamar, Trey, and John Conchar.
It's pretty good, too. I mean, if Jemison can do his job and play physical defense when Ja's coming to the rim and don't let Ja posterize him, it's interesting, isn't it? If you look at those 3 teams, I mean, you can make a case for all 3. Give me Eli's again. He has Dez, right?
Dez, Marcus Smart, Santi Aldama,
A lot of scoring.
Lamar Stevens, Trey Jemison, John Conchar.
Yeah, you have a lot of guys who can get to the rim, penetrate, and finish. It just you got defense on the perimeter too. In Smart and Bain plays pretty decent defense. It's just can Jemison play?
Yeah. I got versatility. I got a bunch of hoopers on my squad. We're gonna put up points.
Well, I don't want to analyze. I don't want to analyze my own team. So, what do you think about the team I got? I mean, obviously you got Ja, but
I mean, Ja's Ja. Whoever gets the number 1 pick, having Ja is going to be that's a huge difference.
See, the question is, who's your center, Zach?
Jaron.
Yeah, see, Jaron trying to stop Ja. That would be fun. And then big 7-footer Jemison. I don't know. I thought we did a good job there. I think
the Ja BC pick and roll is going to be fun, and then you got Luke kind of
be tough
off the wing.
Luke was, I think Luke was the sneaky good pick to get me the outside shooting in case Ja had to kick it out to the wing.
Yeah.
I mean, Dez. I love Dez as a 3-point shooter too, but statistics wise, you have one of the best in the last 3-4 years in Kennard. So. Yeah, I think we did a good job as far as putting those teams together. You agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I got my players got wingspan on this team.
I know. Wouldn't it be fun to see those guys go at it? So who is your 6th man? Is it the last guys that were picked? See, mine would have to be Goodwin because I picked him as a backup to Ja, so Yuta would get the start. I would have LaRavia, Yuta. I'm trying to think of my position. So I got
Ja point, Luke at shooting, Yuta at
small forward.
Small forward?
It'd have to be which one's bigger, LaRavia or who's bigger, Yuta or LaRavia?
I think they're about the same size.
Yeah, one's 3, one's 4.
Yeah, LaRavia. Yeah, so
and then
LaRavia
Clark's my center.
Your power forward and BC your center.
And then yours would be
Jaron be at center. Vince is shooting guard. Gigi's at power forward. Zaire at shooting guard and Scotty at point guard.
Zaire at small forward, right?
Yeah.
You're starting Yuta and Laravia? And you think your team's the best?
Well, I got John Clark and Kennard, but I'm trying to think, should I start Goodwin? Maybe I should start Goodwin and go.
It'll be wise to start.
Goodwin's a great
'cause he can
rebounder
rebound
too. Yeah,
for
you're
himself.
right. I should start Goodwin. Yeah, and then yours would be, and then Eli's. What do you got?
Dez and Smart is backcourt.
Yeah, then
and
I have
then, I
Jemison
guess
center, Santi at
Trey will be-
power forward, and Stevens at small forward.
That's a pretty big front line. With Santi next to
So
Jemison.
Trey and Santi will be your front court, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
My team defensively would be easily the best.
Just protecting the rim, or you just
Well, Lamar Stevens is a real. I mean, versatile. He could guard anybody. You got Marcus Smart to guard on the perimeter. Like my team defensively, by far the best.
Can Smart slow down Ja? If they were going one-on-one, serious one-on-one, playing for $5 million, which is, again, chump change probably to them, but you know what I'm saying. I mean, a serious one-on-one, could Smart even, could he slow down Ja? Could anybody slow down Ja?
Because he's physical. Just get physical with him. He's
Yeah.
strong, a lot stronger.
Which comes back to always my concern about Ja. Even though Ja, as thin as he is, and he's not frail, certainly, but he plays a lot tougher. But those injuries, there's not much you can do about it when you fall awkwardly, and that's always my concern with Ja. Well, we just talked about professional basketball players, and most of those guys can shoot the rock extremely well. You're talking about the best of the best. Well, at Shoot 360 Memphis, I'm not promising you they can make you the next Ja Morant or Desmond Bain or Jaren Jackson Jr., but I can tell you this. They will help you improve your shot and make you a better and more well-rounded basketball player. From preps to pros, this is about as cool a place as you'll ever see as basketball players looking to perfect their shot, challenge themselves, and compete with others, get that opportunity because they learn the proper ways to shoot the ball using modern analytics. Shoot 360 Memphis is located in Collierville, but they are moving. They're moving their entire facility to an even bigger space in Cordova, state of the art. And they are taking registrations right now as they will open in Cordova on June 1st. So parents out there, grandparents, relatives, you're thinking about a graduation gift for your 8th grader or for maybe your high school senior or even a college player. It doesn't matter the level because they will all get the opportunities to improve their shooting. Players of all skills. Everything the athletes do in the facility is recorded and stored in a member's app, and you can watch their progress in real time. So to sign up for this, give Shoot 360 Memphis a call at 901-316-5500 or go online to Shoot 360 Memphis. You can also stop by their facilities in Collierville. Sign up for the move to Cordova. It's Shoot 360 Memphis. We're coming back with our final segment. The draft is tomorrow night. Some talk on the what to expect as far as that's concerned. This is Sports 56 Mornings with Greg and Eli on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Your Memphis Showboats are back in action at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium on Sunday, April 28th at 2 p.m. All game long, we will be celebrating the incredible legacies of Showboats greats Reggie White and Pepper Rogers, and you won't want to miss our tribute at halftime. Tickets start at just $10 and are available now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Your Memphis Showboats versus the Michigan Panthers, Sunday, April 28th at 2 p.m. Tickets start at just $10. Go Boats!
Mugshots Grill and Bar in Collierville is now open and the ribbon cutting is April 25th. And Collierville Mugshots is giving away free burgers for a year, a $675 value, no purchase necessary. To enter, follow Mugshots Grill and Bar on Facebook. Like, tag 2 friends, and share. The lucky winner will be announced April 25th. Come by Mugshots Grill and Bar, 656 West Poplar for half-priced happy hour 2 to 6, Monday through Friday. Mugshots Grill and Bar, now open in Collierville. As always, having a good time.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. the rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. 5 Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 5 Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5 Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Don't sweat a swing and miss thanks to insurance tokens from BetMGM. Add an MLB wager to your bet slip and activate your bet insurance token. If your bet with the token applied doesn't hit, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to a specified maximum amount. That's another chance to step up to the plate and bet on the action out there on the diamond. Baseball is America's national pastime, and BetMGM's favorite pastime, making the sport even more amazing for fans. Whether you want to bet on a no-run first inning, try a signature bet, or take a home run prop, BetMGM has a loaded lineup for all 9 innings all season long. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your bet insurance token and get your stake back in bonus bets if your MLB wager using the token doesn't win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. Tennessee only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call or text the Tennessee Red Line at 800-889-9789.
Hey Mid-South, get to Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Spring Sales Event and get thunderstruck with 43 MPG Highway and 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage. We Gossett for $18,960 or $269 a month. Or hit the open road in your 2024 Mitsubishi Eclipse Cross. We Gossett $28,350 or $379 a month. And adventure starts with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander SE. We Gossett $32,765 or $449 a month. Plus, every Gossett Mitsubishi comes with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, online 24/7 at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 84 months Mirage RH00 5921 MSRP 19460 Eclipse RZO 342249 MSRP 29350 Outlander RZO 43754 MSRP 33765 includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports 56 Mornings on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour brought to you by Jenkins Floors and More. Here once again are Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy.
Welcome back, everyone. Final segment tomorrow. Among our guests, we'll have our Showboat Showcase. Showboat's back home. It's been a while. Unfortunately, they've lost 3 in a row now as they come back to play Michigan. And that game will be on Sunday. So come on out and watch the Showboats. Hopefully, Eli, they can get things turned around.
Yep, big game because it is a USFL conference game, and Michigan is a game ahead of them right now for second place. And again, top 2 teams in the conference will get into the postseason. So huge game, plus the tributes to Reggie White and Pepper Rogers that they're going to be doing on Sunday. So that'll be cool to honor some of the Showboats of old legends. So that'll be happening on Sunday as well. Tomorrow morning, we'll be talking to Darius Victor, the running back. Thick thighs save lives, Mr. Victor.
What? He is the quintessential bowling ball running back. How tall is Victor? Like, really, how tall? 5'5"?
He's probably, I'm guessing 5'6", 5'7". I don't know. I don't think I've not, like, stood right next to him to know.
He hasn't had an opportunity to really get unleashed with the struggles of the offensive line. When he played for, was it New Jersey? Do I remember him from?
Yeah, 2 years ago, he was the Offensive Player of the Year in the league. Yeah. Last year, he had a pretty good year. His numbers came down a little bit, but he had a good game up in St. Louis. They were able to get the running game going a little bit. He's just been banged up, too. He has not been real healthy. So he's getting healthier, I think, and so had a nice game on this past Saturday, and hopefully they can continue that on Sunday against Michigan.
The NFL yesterday reinstated Eagles cornerback Isaiah Rodgers Sr. from his year-long suspension for violating the league's policy on gambling. Rodgers was with the Colts when he was suspended on June 29th, but was released by the team later that day, then signed with the Eagles in August. Earlier this year, Rodgers was on ESPN, and he told reporter John Barr that while bets were made from his account, they were made for others and not himself. He said the wagers, including some smaller ones and a $1,000 prop bet, were placed from his online sports gambling account. Well, that's stupidity at the highest level for using your own account to make bets for anybody out there. But it's not a lifetime ban. This isn't the Jonte Porter situation, so Rodgers can come back and play. The draft is tomorrow night from Detroit, Michigan. Again, there's no intrigue as far as the overall number one pick, as the Chicago Bears will select quarterback Caleb Williams. I still think there's a little bit of mystery with that second pick. I believe Washington will take Jaden Daniels, but I don't know if that's a slam dunk. And then what does New England do with 3? Do they take Drake May? Is there going to be a deal? I think there could be a lot of movement in this draft. A lot of movement. Thoughts?
Let's see. The over-under, where is it? Of trades in the first round is 5.5.
5.5. That's a good number. So they think there could be a lot as
and the
well.
over-under for trades in the top 10 picks is 2.
Arizona will pick 4th, Chargers 5th, then the Giants, the Titans, the Falcons, the Bears with their second first-round pick, and the Jets will round out the top 10. Still nothing official yet on the Zach Wilson trade that has been talked about for a couple of days, correct?
I don't believe so, no. You could also bet, by the way, and I guess, I don't know, Bill Belichick, the Athletics say that they're close to a deal. Apparently he's going to become a regular part of the Manning casts for Monday Night Football.
Yeah, that had been in the...
I don't know what he's going to be doing during the draft, possibly for ESPN.
Oh, he's with McAfee.
Is that during the draft they're doing a show?
Yeah, he's with McAfee.
Because there is a line of what will happen first during the broadcast: Nick Saban smiling or Bill Belichick smiling.
I'm going Saban.
Saban is the favorite at minus 150.
Oh, gosh, I think it's a no-brainer.
The over-under number of dogs shown during round 1 is 2. Cats is 1.
Okay, dogs? Why would they show dogs?
Because
Belichick has a dog.
The draft people in their house, like when they go to they show them in their house. If there's not people that are at the draft, if it's people that are in their house, they.
Oh, okay, that's right. Because not everybody's there in the green room. I don't know. That's one I would stay away from. I have no idea how that'll work. But again, one of these storylines is how many quarterbacks will be taken in the first round. Is there going to be 6 taken in the first?
Maybe one of the prospects is going to put a bunch of money on more than one dog if he knows he's going to draft for the first. He has like 5 dogs at home, and as soon as they show us, just make sure all the dogs are on camera.
And suspended immediately from the NFL for that prop bet.
Springtime is a time for love and romance and celebration, and that's what Genesis Diamonds is all about. They can make that love, that romance, that celebration even more special with a great piece of jewelry from the folks at Genesis Diamonds. Whether it's an engagement ring, thinking about popping the question, thinking about getting engaged, go to Genesis Diamonds. Check out the amazing selection of rings and diamonds they have for you at Genesis Diamonds. But maybe it's some other occasion. Maybe it's a graduation. Maybe it's Mother's Day, Father's Day. Maybe it's an anniversary. whatever it is, they've got a special piece of jewelry that can make a great gift idea for any special occasion when you go to Genesis Diamonds. Selection, price, service, you're going to get the best of everything at Genesis Diamonds. They've been open just over a year now here in Memphis. They continue to blow people away when they go in there. Check out that huge selection of jewelry, of line after line of jewelry that no other store in town has. The prices, you get direct importer pricing, taking out the middleman, and the service you get from no commission salespeople. They're just there to help you, educate you, and make you a smarter shopper when it comes to buying jewelry. They're not there to pressure you into buying the most expensive thing in the store. And something for every budget as well. Genesis Diamonds, Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Greg Norman, the commissioner of LIV, says he's open-minded about a 72-hole format, so possibly a change in the future. As John Rahm has already indicated in his first year at LIV that he would like to play a 72-hole tournament, although he joined a tour that had 54-hole events. So be it.
It's just so funny to me. He knows what it is. He goes there.
Exactly.
Like, you should play 72. And they're like, yeah, maybe we'll do that. Like, I wonder if the other players are probably like, well, no, like we don't want to play 72.
We signed up for 54.
And again, are you going to change your name?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the whole reason it's LIV is because it's 54.
Exactly. That'll do it for us today. Our thanks to Tim Buckley, Mike Claiborne, and to Michael Cole for joining us on the program. We're back tomorrow. Draft day, at least round number 1 tomorrow night. We'll talk about that tomorrow on the show. Again, we'll have our Showboat Showcase and some other goodies on the program tomorrow. Probably, I would imagine, plenty of transfer portal news to get to as well. Well done, friends, on Sports 56 is coming up next, so stay tuned for that. For Eli Savoy and for Zach Boyd, I'm Greg Gaston. Have a great day, everybody.